prepped. Let's get you hyped. Let's get you to Las Vegas as we bring you the latest on the 49ers and Chiefs as they close in on Super Bowl 58. Here are your hosts of Stiles and Watkins, Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes, yes, yes. Viva Las Vegas. Stiles and Watkins coming to you live from Radio Row, Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay. Never been to Mandalay Bay before, but it is beautiful, and it's all thanks to Jiffy Lube. Sactown Sports Road Trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters, fully loaded show, as we continue to say.
That's an understatement.
Torrey Smith, Laura Britt, who else do we got? Brock Heward, okay, Bert Kreischer, Rod Brooks, the list goes on and on. Ronnie Lott, all right, Warren Moon. That's just day one.
That's just day one.
That's just day one. Chris Watkins,
a lot of time.
How you feeling? We got in last night. We were joking about the planes. There were no issues on the planes. Okay, little slick when we landed, but we got in safe. Chris
no
Watkins,
clapping either.
No clapping. Nate wanted to clap. We didn't clap.
No, I got stuck in the bathroom.
Nate got stuck in the bathroom.
I got stuck in the bathroom during turbulence.
But we made it out alive. Chris Watkins, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad that our feet are on the ground, and glad to be here in Vegas. And it's already been a crazy week, and we've been here for less than 24 hours. And I see Tommy DeVito's agent over here.
Yeah.
It's on Shaw Merriman. You took a selfie with Cam Newton.
That's right.
It feels like we're already rolling.
We are definitely rolling, and we're still the Kings flagship.
Of course.
We're still going to get into some Kings talk as they have a game tonight against the Pistons, which really we shouldn't have to talk about.
Yeah.
But because it is the Kings, you just never know. But so many people that we have already spoken to are going to speak to, and we're asking them all their picks about Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
We're asking them about the game. We're asking them whether Brock Purdy, your favorite, is he overrated, underrated, properly rated? Is it maybe getting to the point, and this is what I want to ask some of the people that we're having on. Yeah. Is it getting to the point where maybe he's just properly rated? If everybody in here, okay, and you don't understand, if you're watching us on YouTube, shout out to you. If you're listening to us on SactownSports.com, Sactown Sports app, thank you for listening as well. Or in your car, of course. You don't understand how big this place is.
So
and I want to set the over-under for the game manager question. We ran into Cam Newton.
Yeah.
You noticed this. I didn't. When I took the selfie, I couldn't see. He took the selfie. His arm went into another stratosphere. We took the selfie. It looked great. He turns around. He's got a shirt on that says game changer or game manager. So
you called it when he initially talked about it. You're like, he's going to capitalize on this.
He's going to capitalize on this. So hopefully we're trying. Our guy Jay Johnson is here. He's doing his thing. We're working to hopefully get Cam on. He is one of the hot names. We want to hear what he has to say. But we already have a fully loaded list as we continue to fill it out over these next 3 days. But the Brock Purdy game manager conversation, is it to the point now where maybe we can say that, okay, we get it?
Yes, I think so.
I think we get it.
I think we get it. I am fascinated to hear the answers of how many people are going to say underrated, because at that point, that tells me that he's probably properly rated. And we've only asked a couple people so far, and early returns are underrated, but it definitely feels like, especially this week, I just think there's going to be so much. There's already a ridiculous amount of conversation about Brock, but everyone's going to ask it. Everyone's going to have to talk about it. And I think at this point, I think we know what Brock Purdy is, and he's a quarterback who got his team to this game and has a really, really good shot at winning.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When it comes to whether you got your team there or you were carried, the most obvious difference to me between when the Niners went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy and when the Niners in the Super Bowl with Brock is very simple. No, you didn't have Christian McCaffrey, but Jimmy Garoppolo, if Brock's being carried the same way, Jimmy Garoppolo never sniffed an MVP conversation.
No.
Never even sniffed. So what are we talking about here? That, to me, is the biggest difference that nobody is really talking about. Very obvious. And, again, Christian McCaffrey is a big deal. I'm not saying he's not. But Jimmy Garoppolo was never in the conversation.
Yeah, no, never. I mean, maybe like through 5 weeks of the season or something, but definitely not as deep into the season as what we got with Brock. And,
right.
it's the Jimmy G thing is definitely the I think the best counter to throw at anyone who's going to say, oh, any quarterback can do this. Well, I mean, yeah, Jimmy got them there, but I don't think anybody, we were just talking with Laura Britt. It wasn't really the offense that was talked about. And I think, when we talk about this specific year of 49ers football, it feels like the story has definitely been more so on, especially in this playoffs, the offense. The offense has been the thing that you have to trust is going to be good enough to win. And I think Brock is obviously a huge part of that. And I think just the fact that 49ers fans, I would have to assume, feel more comfortable with their offense going into this Super Bowl than any of those games with Jimmy.
It got to a point before the playoffs, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here, okay? I know I'm in this Vegas air, and the Niners,
the showmanship
the Niner
is ready.
Glasses, I might be putting them on, but it got to a point where I was legitimately surprised when the Niners punted.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah.
I was surprised when they had to punt the football. Now, it hasn't looked great in the playoffs, but they were able to turn it on. So what do you do in the playoffs? You break records in the playoffs as far as coming back and doing things like that we've never seen before. Yeah. So even when you're not playing well, you're still overcoming and doing things that we've never seen. You're either breaking records to start the game and just throughout the season, or you're not playing well, and overcoming odds that we haven't seen before. So really hard to complain. But I got to say this, okay, and I haven't seen anybody, Chris and I got our haircuts. No, we didn't get the Travis Kelce. Don't ask me that. And shout out to Travis Kelce for answering that question the right way. It's called a taper fade. You can get one at your local barbershop. Yes. But the boogeyman is over there with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But Rashee Rice kind of banged up. Travis Kelce is only one man. If you take away Travis Kelce, there's only so much Patrick Mahomes can do. Yeah. We've seen this team. You get on the Niners for having that rough 3-week stretch where they didn't have Debo. What about all the games that the Chiefs tricked off just throughout the season?
Yes.
Right?
Starting in week 1, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't they play the Lions week 1? And that started the Kadarius Toney with the Butterfingers thing?
Who's a number 1 wide receiver, by the way.
If
he gets the ball, that's what he said. That is what he said. Don't look at me like that, Nate. That's what he said.
I mean, I think that, this Chiefs offense, it's not what it's been in the past. It does not bring the same fear that it did in the past. But, I mean, when you have Patrick Mahomes, you got to feel, you have to feel the pressure of that. It's going to be on the Niners offense to execute, I think. You can't give Patrick Mahomes, it's really surprising that in that Ravens game, they gave him so many opportunities, and that game still ended up 17-14. I feel like the Niners, their offense has to be clicking, obviously. It feels like that magic number is 20. Obviously, if they can get to 30, that's been the real magic number all year. But I think you have to try and limit as many Patrick Mahomes possessions as possible. And, if you can force a turnover, I really think that's how this game gets on its head. But I feel like the Niners, in a weird way, do have the offensive advantage in this game. And I think it's to me, again, we were just talking with Laura Britt. I think that the offense and the defense of the 49ers to me is the matchup that I'm really intrigued to see. Just how can they slow him down, or can they make him look like a normal human?
Right. And I would say at this point, as we discussed, the Niners defense is maybe headed towards underrated, which is outstanding. That's what you want. For anybody to think that the Niners defense isn't still legit just because of a couple honestly bad halves and bad quarters of football.
That's exactly what it was.
That's exactly what the Niners we got you right where we want you if you are the San Francisco 49ers. Before we get to a break, let's do some Kings talk. And by the way, obviously we're here on Radio Row. Okay, we are refreshing all of our socials. The Sack Chat, shout out to the Sack Chat. We see you. If something breaks, let us know.
Yes.
But you all know how I feel about the trade deadline. Nothing's gonna break.
Well,
it's not gonna happen.
What if I told you the trade already happened?
Chris, we walked in. Excuse me?
A trade? It's not an exciting trade, but there is a trade that happened.
What happened?
The Utah Jazz are sending Simone Fontecchio to the Detroit Pistons for a 2024 second-round pick.
I said nothing's happening with the Kings.
Fontecchio. Yeah, Fontecchio. And
he's going where?
He is going to Detroit, and Kevin Knox is going to Washington.
We were talking to Laura Britt about the MLB a hot stove, okay, and how it was more of a cold
freezer.
The stove was broken. That's what happened with this trade deadline.
Yes,
Where are the big names? I'm still blaming Minnesota for driving up the market.
It is their fault.
Fontecchio, that's what you're giving me?
Yes.
I'm here at Radio Row. You got stars. I just saw Shit and Sharp walking by, and we're talking about Fontecchio?
Yep.
I can't do this.
Shout out Simone.
Shout out Simone. Thank you, Simone, for that Fontecchio piece. as we're just places just crawling with stars. I'm telling you, I'm trying. This show, if they'll let us, we'll do the show for 7 hours. I won't leave.
Alan will do the show.
I know
for
the
7
building.
hours.
I know they're going to kick us out at some point, but I'm not leaving, Chris. I'm not leaving, and especially if the Kings do make a trade, they got which they won't, but they got the Pistons tonight. Okay, I believe the last time the Pistons played the Kings, they didn't have Cade Cunningham.
Correct. Yeah,
that's right.
Yep,
that's right.
That
so
correct. Yep,
you got a fully loaded Pistons team.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Okay, Isaiah Livers in the crew. All right, trying to take down the Kings. I don't know. What are we talking about here?
I think tonight's going to be really weird energy because we've talked about the homecoming element of it all. It should feel like an easy win, but also I wonder if anyone's looking over their shoulder today. Is Kevin Huerter? Harrison Barnes has played well? Is Harrison Barnes thinking, oh my God, I thought last time was going to be the last time I was going to play in Sacramento? Is tonight? I don't know. I think that it's going to be interesting, but for me, the Kings just have to stay focused. You have to just try and take care of business. This should not be a difficult game tonight. I know there's a lot of outside noise and a lot of questions happening, but you just got to put all that stuff away, and you got to beat the Detroit Pistons. Come on. Right. I don't want to see a first quarter Pistons 35, 40 points and them shooting 60% from three. Please.
No, I'm in a good mood.
Alan,
I'm in a good mood.
We're in Vegas. Can we just
exactly.
can we just get an easy Kings win?
That's right.
And keep it
I'm in Vegas. I'll tell you this right
Please.
now. The Kings lose tonight. I'm not talking about the Kings for the rest of the week. I don't care
if they make a trade.
I don't care. Chris is going to have to talk me out of it. Well, they're not making a trade. I already told you that. Yeah. And if they lose to the Pistons and they trade somebody past the 7th in the rotation, I'm not talking about it. I'm Nick Saban. So don't ask. Got to get to a break like we talked about. Fully loaded show. We got Torrey Smith. We got Laura Burt. We got Brock Heward. We have Bert Kreischer. I just saw him walking around. I said, Bert, we got you earlier. And we got whoever else we can find. Rod Brooks as well. Ronnie Lott. The list goes on and on. Michael Lombardi. We got all these guys. So don't miss it. We will be right back. Joined to you by Jiffy Lube. Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance, think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is the place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsors of Stiles Watkins Radio Road Trip to Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. As I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins live from Las Vegas. Thanks to Jiffy Lube. Special thanks to Jiffy Lube for making our road trip to Radio Row possible. Jiffy Lube, a proud sponsor of Sactown Sports, joined by Brock Heward, Fox College football analyst, former NFL QB, host on 710 Seattle Sports Radio. Brock, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, guy, I wish I was there with you in Vegas. So you lucky dogs.
I know.
How is the
crazy
scene
out here, man.
Yeah, how is the scene? We did it. Our station goes when the Seahawks go, and obviously they're not there this year, and it's been a few years since they've been there, but we did New York and we did Phoenix. And I remember as the week built, you started to feel the energy. Monday a little slow, Tuesday picked up, Wednesday starts to turn, and then Thursday, Friday a madhouse. Are you kind of feeling a hump day kind of turn in the energy there?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah. We just got in yesterday, but you can already start to feel that the energy is definitely starting to ramp up. You can start to hear people, the murmurs are getting a little bit louder, and you can just kind of feel the excitement a bit, and people are starting to walk around. So it's definitely been a really cool experience for sure.
Brock, let's get this out the way, all right? And I'm going to steal Chris's question here. There's been a lot of conversation about Brock Purdy, but at this point, Brock, I made a joke yesterday. We're in Vegas. The over-under on the game manager question for Brock Purdy. For the week, I'm setting it at 200,000. That's how many times I think the term game manager has been used as it pertains to Brock Purdy. Do you think with everybody now going in a different direction, saying that, hey, there's so much hate going towards Brock Purdy, do you think it's starting to even out yet, or in your circles, does it still feel like he's being a bit disrespected?
See, I thought you were going a different direction. I thought you were going to go with I stole my buddy's question because we tried to find another Brock as a quarterback, and you're the only other Brock that's ever played quarterback.
That's right. That's
there's been like Stan Brock, Dieter Brock. There's been other Brocks with the last name, but Purdy and I the only ones with the first name. So I thought that's where you're going with it. I think eventually, and maybe Brock will be the one to do it with his game and his style. Maybe we go from game manager to game facilitator, because to me, that's what he is. He just facilitates with all the weapons that he has, different point guards. John Stockton did it with Karl Malone. Different point guards did it with different guys and distributed in different ways. So he's got a dream team around him. Who was the point guard on the dream team? Was it Isaiah Thomas? I don't know who it was, but I bet you he was a facilitator.
Magic Johnson.
Magic. Yeah. Yes. So there you go. And obviously Magic could score. He could do some other things, but he was a facilitator. And that's what Brock is. And then at this time of year, all that matters is what you do when the game is on the line. What you do, as Pete Carroll used to say, right? You can't win a game in the first or the second or third. You win these games in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter for Kyle Shanahan's been a disaster in his 2 Super Bowls. Obviously, he's a coordinator down in Atlanta with Dan Quinn. And then, unfortunately, Jimmy G's got a post route versus quarters coverage. The throw is there to make. Got to make that throw. You're going to win that Super Bowl. The last time he did not. And these 2 playoff games, Brock Purdy, when it's mattered, facilitating when it matters, has been a difference maker in the end.
Brock, I'm curious, what storyline kind of intrigues you the most? There's the Patrick Mahomes, just continuing to add to the resume. There's Kyle Shanahan, his specific element of this. He was kind of, in a weird way, like Andy Reid was viewed when he was in the NFC, him finally getting a Super Bowl. Or there is the Brock element of this all, I should say the Brock Purdy element of this all. What storyline intrigues you the most about this game?
Probably the Mahomes. We did a little deal on our show earlier this week, and you guys in the Bay Area know this team better than anybody else does, but I looked at the 22 starters. Like when I do, this is one of the last things I do for my college football games in our production meeting the night before. I say, okay, how many of these guys, if we're playing on the old playground back in the day, right? We're picking teams. I take you, I take you, I take you. How many of the 22 starters would we take? And, I did it with the Seahawks in mind. And when it came to the Seahawks and the 49ers, it was like 17-5, 18-4. I mean, that I'm taking San Francisco's left tackle, right tackle, tight end, running back, receiver, slot receiver, right? You just go through the list. And I think if you were to do that with the Chiefs and the Niners, with every analyst that you guys see there in Vegas, everybody that walks by you on Radio Row, if you could pull all of them and say, hey, out of the 22 starters, how many Chiefs, how many 49ers? I think it'd be pretty overwhelming. I mean, I think it would be something like 14-8. 15-7, honestly, between those 2 teams, the difference being Patrick and what he's done on the road and what he's done in the fourth quarter, what he did on 3rd and 8 to win that game, what he did in the fourth quarter in Buffalo to finish that deal. So for me in my lifetime, I never thought we would see another dude get to 10 Super Bowls, win 7 of them. Nobody would compete with Tom Brady. But at this age and stage, Patrick Mahomes is well on his way, especially if he can get this one with this supporting cast around him.
Talking to Brock Heward, Fox college football analyst, former NFL QB host on 710 Seattle Sports Radio. So let's talk some Seahawks, Brock. And the Seahawks finally moving on from Pete Carroll now with Mike McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith, that whole situation. You got the 16th pick in the draft. You, as somebody who played at UW, then played for the Seahawks, is there a Michael Penix situation there? What do you think about the state of the Seahawks moving forward when you have the Rams, who kind of had a down season but still snuck into the playoffs, and obviously you have the Niners as well, and whatever the Cardinals are trying to do, Kyler Murray going to have a healthy season out of him, a full healthy season. So how do you feel about your Seattle Seahawks?
Well, I would say the Rams and the 49ers forced this decision from ownership, because a lot of the things that Pete Carroll was doing with the culture, with the belief, the love of the guys, the selflessness, all of those things are awesome. But when the Rams, in a rebuilding year with street free agents, mid to late round draft picks, beat you not once but sweep you, and then the 49ers have beaten you like 5 in a row and 3 last year and 2 this year, and you just are not able to compete with them. Ultimately, Paul Allen's sister, now the owner of the Seahawks, Jody Allen, had to look at that and go, well, this has got to change. Something's got to change. And she decided to keep John Schneider in the personnel department, who's drafted really well over the last couple of years. There are some young guns and some young studs to work with. And now you've got the youngest coach. I mean, you cut Pete in half. 72 years old is Pete Carroll, and Mike McDonald comes in at 36. Biggest hire, the biggest hire he's going to have to make is the next big headline out of Seattle, and that's going to be offensive coordinator. Which direction does he go? You mentioned Michael Penix. I don't think Penix is necessarily a fit, but Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, is a finalist for that coordinator job. Would be very intriguing. Another young guy, no NFL experience, but one of the bright minds. Chip Kelly interviewed last night with them. So that hire is kind of, for me, the next big one to watch. But there's no question they've got younger. They've gotten more innovative. They've gotten more creative. And I'm doing a little study right now on the aggregate age of different offensive, defensive coordinators and head coaches. And I don't think this league has ever been younger. Wow. And the Seahawks are going to be right there as one of the youngest staffs in all the NFL.
Brock, I saw this weird story about UW, and I guess it's not really a story, but is there anything to, I believe Bill Belichick's son, Steve, got named the defensive coordinator at UW, and then Pete Carroll's son, I believe, is also part of that coaching staff. Is that just a coincidence, or is there something brewing there?
No, I think it's coincidence, but it is fascinating. Okay. And I texted Jed Fish, the head coach. I said, hey, listen, I'll work pro bono, man. I do some emceeing on the side. I will come in an MC event with Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick and just talk ball. And we'll raise some money for the program and raise some money for the NIL, which is what it's all about now in college football. Yeah. Brandon Carroll, Pete's son, his oldest son, is the offense coordinator. And he was with Jed for 3 years at Arizona. He was with Pete before as an assistant O-line coach. So he's actually the offensive coordinator for Jed. And then Steve Belichick comes in as the defensive coordinator. So these aren't just like names. Oh, let's just throw it's your OC and your DC under your head coach. And it's Belichick and Carroll. And I can't wait to see him. They'll be out on the sidelines for practice, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to make their way to Husky Stadium for a game this fall. And, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't think it was like intentional by Jed Fish. Like, let me just get a Carroll and a Belichick. But the way it's worked out, you had a pretty strong names with a pretty strong pipeline to the NFL.
Brock Heward, Fox College football analyst, former NFL QB host on 710 Seattle Sports Radio. Brock, thank you so much for joining us. I was going to say enjoy the rest of your time. I didn't mean that as a joke. I know we're the ones out here. You're not, but we will enjoy it for you. Enjoy watching the Super Bowl. By the way, we didn't get your pick. Who do you have winning the big game?
Yeah, I got the Niners 30-28. We're going to have a great game. Going to come down to the wire, and I think they get over the hump.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Brock, so much.
All right, you got it, guys.
We'd love to have you on the show again. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Have a great day, man.
Thanks, Brock. You too.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are joined by Bert Kreischer. We will also continue the conversation about the Kings and the Niners. Stiles Watkins on the road, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing one or two pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper, also known as Drapes, here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. That's where I got my gorgeous black-on-black EQS SUV. I'll be honest, it's the most stunning car I've ever owned. And let me tell you why I love it. First of all, the minute you step inside, you feel like you're driving a luxury vehicle. Plus, I love the onboard navigation system. And I tell you what, my kids just love the front seat and rear seat heating option. You know how it is up here in Northern California. You got to have that during the winter. And of course, during the summer, you got to have seat cooling. Well, my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV has that as well. Go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They believe, guys, that when you buy the world's finest car, it should be an experience you'll never forget. It's the greatest car shopping experience I've ever had. They were tremendous. The ease of buying, they just made it super simple. It's just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off of I-5. And of course, you can always go online at mbofstockton.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
We're going to have to get some Usher going here. Simone is doing a great job for us.
That is Usher.
Remote. Which one is this?
This is new Usher. It's called Ruin Me.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because I listened to that one. All right. Thank you, Simone. But you know what, Simone? This is what they said, though. All right. They said when Usher announced his new album, they said, hey, Usher, really happy for you. Don't play none of that on Sunday.
Yeah,
we don't want none of
fair,
that.
fair.
We want it on
way too
Sunday.
many
Thank
of
you, Simone. We have a full crew. We got Jay Johnson running around this whole building.
Yeah.
We got Nate who's doing the video. We got
We got
Simone
lights
who's
now.
helping us doing it remote, producing the show remote. It is a full event, and it's all thanks to Jiffy Lube. Sactown Sports Road Trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters. Some of you may have driven to Vegas. So go ahead and make sure you check out Jiffy Lube on the way back. Have you ever done the Vegas drive?
I have done the Vegas drive before, and if you are doing it, you definitely are going to want to get your car checked before you make that drive, for sure. It's not terrible. It's like an 8-hour drive, but the last thing you want is it's like 8 or 9 hours.
I can't remember if I've done it or not.
Nate,
Nate, have you done it?
I've done it. I did it because our flight got canceled, and we rented a car and did it.
Yeah.
Almost ran out of gas. There's a part we hit where there's just no gas for like
20,
100
30
miles.
yeah.
And it's that like kind of UFO, you're out there, alien territory, pitch black.
I'm
and you're
into
like,
that, though.
This is where I'm about to see like a demon or some sort of creature come
You're about
from
to
the
never
sky.
be seen again.
I am super into that.
We should maybe go to an Area 51 place, right? Like, isn't that?
I tell you, I'm down. I'm
I'm trying to go Fear and Loathing here while we're here.
What is that?
You've never seen that movie?
Fear and Loathing
In
no.
Las Vegas?
No,
Oh,
I've never
all right.
seen
Yeah,
it.
well,
We were at
it's crazy.
Caesars yesterday. We were making like a ridiculous amount of Hangover references.
Yeah.
I've not seen. We might need to get a Vegas movie marathon going at some point.
Yeah.
No, there's not enough time.
Yeah,
there's not enough time
I
because,
see
like
Brennan.
we
I'm just gonna
said,
start saying who I see too. I
Yeah.
see
right.
Brennan
Just
Davis
say
out
names.
here.
Just let people know.
Yeah, Nate, you can see
I
behind
saw
me.
Baker Mayfield. Dan Marino's doing
Really?
a show with McAfee right
You know,
now.
Pro Bowl MVP Baker Mayfield these days. I don't
That's
know if
right.
you saw that.
That's right. You saw Baker's here.
Yeah, that's what Nate said.
I
He
need
must
to
be
see- I
saw
behind us.
Baker's
Well,
on
I know. I
NBC.
need
You
to
gotta
see
size him
Baker.
up.
By the
TFT.
way, I did tease Bert Kreischer as things happen here. I've
Yeah.
already saw him on 3 different shows. This thing is fluid. We will have him. So apologies on that. We have updated odds here as we mentioned Usher. Okay. Surprisingly, the favorite is My Way to kind of warm people up.
Really?
Now, My Way, that goes back to, I believe, the Usher, I believe before 8701.
Wait.
And then you had
No, it's
right?
gonna be It's gotta be
Yeah is at plus 200. My Way is at plus 105. Right. So
I have like an ongoing, not bet, I guess, but my girlfriend is insistent that he's going to sing like Daddy's Home as his intro. And I'm like,
I
he's
don't
not
think so.
going to sing
No.
those kind of songs to America. I'm
No.
sorry. He's got too many. I know he's got Love in This Club and stuff, but I think Usher understands that's not really Super Bowl vibe. Just
Right.
You can play be like Travis Scott. Play like 30 times.
Exactly. So, we'll see what kind of happens there. And, I think it's going to be something unique. So Jay, are we going right now? We are joined,
like we said,
surprise
it's fluid.
guest. It is fluid. We are joined by the one and only Kevin Blackistone. Kevin Blackistone, I might have to fanboy a little bit here.
Do it.
One of the sports journalist professors that I watched almost every day, coming up on, of course, Around the Horn. Kevin, thank you for taking the time on such short notice. I saw it all happen
right in front of us.
We're sitting here talking about Usher. I see Jay over here. I'm
thank
like,
you.
is it going to be a green light, red light? And here you are. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you. Same to Torrance Banks as well.
Well, thanks for having us on. And I'm not here for ATH. I'm like a NASCAR driver. I got
Okay.
a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Today I'm here for the University of Maryland where I teach.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
And Torrance Banks is part of a student investigative project into youth football, which just hit the wire yesterday. And as you know, today is National Signing Day.
Right.
And so a lot of kids who came up playing this this collision sport of tackle football. Are today signing scholarships to go to the college of their choice. And Torrance is here to talk about what the University of Maryland students found in their investigation.
Yep. Great.
Awesome.
So
Go ahead. Yeah. No. What did you find?
Yeah. So the project, it kind of looks at like the risk versus reward component. So the general consensus is that youth tackle football, there are many benefits to it. Possibly earning a scholarship, learning teamwork, building friendships. But there's also this great chance of getting injury that could later on cause like impairments later in life.
Yeah.
So the project kind of like tries to examine both of those things, and as part of it, we commissioned like a national poll to kind of get a sense of like what the perspective of youth tackle football was. And from that poll, we found that Black and Hispanic parents are more likely to see earning a college scholarship or playing professionally as a benefit to playing youth tackle football. They're more likely to allow their kids to play at a younger age, under the age of 9. However, the poll also showed that Black and Hispanic parents are more likely to want to reduce contact in practice to 30 minutes or less. So, and then knowing that we went to different like youth football programs around the country to just kind of like talk to parents, kind of get a sense of like what the sport means to them, and also kind of ask to see if do they consider the risk at all or we know they consider, but we just like want to see. Let's like kind of get their perspective, like because we have all this information out here about the the side effects of playing the sport at a young age and for a lot of years. So I just wanted to hear them like talk about see how they impacts their decision to let their kids play.
That's super interesting. I mean, because it's not just even in football. Like in basketball, it's talked about with load management and our kids playing too many AAU games and all that stuff. And, people will always say, I mean, some of the best athletes ever will tell you, don't limit your kid to one sport. Let them play football. Let them play basketball. Do you feel like, I mean, how does this youth sports thing get fixed? I mean, is it on the parents to decide what's best for their kids, or does there need to be some sort of, I don't know if regulations is the right word, but like, how do we fix youth sports in America? I mean, it just feels like in general too, again, with the basketball conversation, people are talking about the Joel Embiids, the Luka Doncic's, and just how we bring up our athletes. Is there something, I mean, there's a lot wrong, but how do we move forward and try and fix the youth sports program?
Yeah, well,
it's obviously a big issue to tackle.
Well, with the other sports, which are not collision sports, it's probably a little bit easier to understand how to control it. But with the collision sport of tackle football, the dangers that can impact you for the rest of your life have just become more and more clear. In fact, just at the beginning of this month, a new study came out from the Journal of American Medical Association, which showed that kids that played tackle football were suffering brain injuries, small but nonetheless brain injuries at a greater rate. And so, how do we control that? Medical professionals have suggested that playing tackle football before the age of 14 is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yet this study finds out that parents of Black and brown kids are finding out, are saying, you know what? The reward of us maybe getting a college scholarship and then hitting the lottery and going to the NFL is so great that we're going to sacrifice our kids. So that's very troubling.
Talking to Torrance Banks and Kevin Blackistone on behalf of the University of Maryland, doing some great studies here. So it feels like the safest thing is just to start playing football, tackle football in high school. If you're going to, safest being a very relative term, right?
Exactly. Because we know that this sport, the sport has gotten safer and safer over the years. It has recognized those problems, but it is still extremely dangerous. And so we need to reduce that danger for the for the youngest folks who are going to be playing this game. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, as we kind of just discuss the college landscape here with, the University of Maryland, what are your thoughts on the NIL? I mean, I played baseball many moons ago, and I don't think many baseball programs are making a ton of money, but I would have taken some free pizza. I would have taken something. A lot of people are upset about the NIL and if it's ruining college sports. You've been around so long. What are your feelings on the NIL and where it's headed and the transfer portal?
Sure. It's a difficult transition period for college athletics, but they're going to have to make it. And the reason it's difficult is because they haven't recognized this before, or they have cast a blind eye to it. NIL is not a panacea for what the problem with college sports is. The problem with college sports is it makes billions of dollars. Everybody gets rich off of it except for the laborers in the game. And do not confuse NIL with revenue sharing. Do not confuse NIL with redistribution of wealth. Do not confuse NIL with creating health care, long or short term, for the athletes that play the game, workers' comp, or any of that. That is really what needs to happen. And we just saw the other day, Dartmouth got the okay from the NLRB to unionize. There's a case coming down the court system, Johnson versus the NCAA, which has not been stopped yet. And it basically says that college athletes are employees of the college corporations that they work for. So those are the changes that need to be made. The bottom line is we need equitable sharing of revenues and well-being resources for college athletes. You can get CTE in college too.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to take care of that.
Yeah, and we're actually going to have some people on a little bit later in the show that talk about the turf situation.
Right.
And I've always wondered with Chris, how come nobody talks about all the turf in college?
Right.
It's only in the NFL. There's so many teams.
Exactly.
I think a lot of them do use turf. So I think we could talk all day long, but I've already seen you hop around. You're doing some great things. Thank you so much, Torrance Banks. That research is outstanding.
Incredible.
Kevin Blackistone, professor for University of Maryland, journalist. You know him, you love him. Thank you so much, guys, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having it. And shout out to Maya Well Restaurant in Sacramento, one of my favorite restaurants in the country.
Okay.
Best tequila bar going.
All right.
gosh,
I
the
will
knowledge.
definitely be checking that out once we get back. Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing to talk to different guests and talking Niners, Super Bowl week, Chiefs, Kings, Stiles and Watkins on the road in Vegas. Thanks to Jiffy Lube. We'll be right back.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Football's biggest game day is almost here. Total Wine is your place for all your game day needs. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File for free with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearless.
We are back, Stiles and Watkins. Thank you again to Kevin Blackistone and Torrance Banks. Really, really interesting, fun conversation. You know, if I have an opportunity to talk college sports, I'm going to do it. And they brought it to me, so I didn't even need to, didn't even really need to take it there. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know. Like, well, the girls are playing flag football now.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more kids I'll have, but I have had conversations with my buddies that have boys, and I do have friends that say no football.
Yeah.
No football. I have friends that say no football. I've even tried to play devil's advocate, even though my mom wouldn't let me play football. And they say, you know, there's a lot of other sports out there. I've never really understood personally, especially somebody with the skill position build like myself. You don't need to play tackle.
No,
I don't think you need to. If you think you got linemen and you want to learn how to, you know, the
fundamentals,
different fundamentals, that's
and
a better
contact is a big.
That's
thing,
a better argument. But I mean, how much of what you learn in sports is from? All right, I played baseball from when I was 6 years old. When I was 21 playing baseball, am I carrying the fundamentals from 6 or from when I was probably about 11 or 12?
And how many bad habits do you pick up too playing that early,
highly doubt it.
I mean, a lot of people, even again, I'm going to bring it to basketball, but it's completely different. Like with jump shots, you know, you see someone like Tyrese Halliburton, his shot got affected because he tried to shoot threes from such a young age. I'm sure there's many corollaries.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're saying he shoots like that?
Yes.
Because he tried to shoot threes too early?
Yes.
That sounds crazy.
That's what he says.
But wouldn't that happen with every young? So how old was he when Steph was a kid? This not making any sense.
It's just like, I mean, I think that everybody kind of revamps their shot at some point. Like definitely coaches have told Tyrese Halliburton, hey man, your shot, it can use a little bit more fundamental in it, you know?
Yes.
And he always says, hey, this is how I came up and this is how I learned how to shoot. I make it. So why, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And I think, you know, again, it stemmed from him really having to push the ball when he was younger. And I wonder how many things like that are in football or in other sports as well, where, you know, you develop something because you're a smaller guy, whether it be tackling. I mean, tackling's been obviously a huge thing, the target zone, where you put your head, how you actually make the tackles, how many of those bad habits, or I guess you could say if you can instill it in an early age, it could be good. But it's a really, really complicated situation. But I agree. I think, you know, especially with the science backing it up, it feels like high school should be the start of
it. Just football. And look, everybody, we don't tell people how to fan, we don't tell people how to parent, but that was just great information from Kevin Blackistone and Torrance Banks, of course. We were, you know, in a very in-depth conversation about the songs that Usher was going to start with. My Way. See, here's the thing though, he's not going to start with a banger. Or
I don't think so.
But he's got so
He's
many.
got so many.
He's got so many that maybe he will.
Yeah.
So I
It's
don't.
also no one's even talked about who's he bringing out.
I think
because that's always the topic. Is he's got tons of connections. I know he was really involved in bringing like Justin Bieber up. Is Justin Bieber gonna hop on the stage?
Will I Am
We're
for
in Vegas,
Oh My.
too, so
Luda, right?
Anybody is available.
It's got to be Luda and Lil Jon.
Oh,
Luda's
Luda. Luda. I mean,
I do see Lil Jon's making like a guided meditation or something
Yep.
like that.
All right.
Yep.
You got to diversify.
Yeah,
this is the
it's
time.
The Andre 3000 universe.
That's right. You got to diversify, and that's what these guys are doing. You wanted to get into, which I thought was, I don't know if funny is the right term, but this media day thing. So we're boots on the ground here, obviously, and a lot of people are saying they'll give anybody media passes. What are these questions?
Right.
Brock got asked if he looks like somebody that murdered a president.
Oswald.
Which, I mean, even the first night, it was giving. I guess it was coming off like a joke version of the draft process, because I know they asked some crazy questions during the draft process. But yeah, I don't think it went over very well. I don't know. And look, I'm going to go there as we have on more media members. This is a new landscape.
Yeah.
And as it got clocked, this is the most media members that have ever been credentialed at a Super Bowl. And there are a lot of people, and that's not, look, old media, new media, I'm not saying what we do is better than what anybody else does. I'm just saying there's a lot of people. And I'm saying that
from all walks too.
From all walks. I'm saying
we're in Vegas again. Like there's a lot of just random people here for the event.
This is what happens if people could ruin this for others, because hey, you have a person from this platform, not your classic platform, asking stupid questions. And I don't know who asked the question. So that might be on me. It might be a person from old media.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Right. But depending on what it is,
Guillermo from the Jimmy Kimmel show.
It could have been anybody. But if this thing doesn't go well, and if enough NFL players don't feel like it was a good experience, you could see next year a lot of people, or next season, hey, we're not doing this. We're not doing this because I don't think it was cool. I think media the first day with the Kermit the Frog thing with Patrick Mahomes, okay, cool. We played the SpongeBob sound yesterday with Brock. I think there's a line.
I don't even have a real problem with them like asking Patch. I don't think it was necessarily the right time, but they asked Patrick Mahomes about the DUI.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think that's a bad question.
I think it could have been asked.
I think it could have been asked better, and it's things like that where, to your point, it's like I don't know how productive all of this is, and I understand it's part of the game. I mean, it's getting shown all across the world, and these media day coverages it's not just for sports talk shows. It's for, again, late night TV and local TV stations and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's just at some point I know that it's part of the gig, but some of those questions are just it's just ridiculous. I just don't know how necessary all of it is.
No, and again, it's clickbaity, and that's just the world we live in. Oh, this is what he had to say, or you're hoping that he says something that is clickbait worthy. And honestly, I just think it was a bit of a bad look, and hopefully,
what is Brock supposed to say to that? Hey, Brock, have you heard the rumors that you look like a man who did murder a president? What are your thoughts on that? Oh, I think it's great. I just I think that's hilarious, and I'm not him, but
right. Oh, really? Let me see a picture.
Yeah,
let me see a picture right now.
I just don't know what you're hoping to get from an answer there.
Yeah, and what was it, about a month ago when somebody asked LeBron after a game about Ricky Rubio?
Oh, right.
And he said, hey, this is going to come off. It's not going to come out.
Sorry,
good,
Ricky.
But I'm not in a good headspace. So, and a lot of people said maybe this was this person's only time if they were overseas. Right. So there are ways to kind of massage things better. I just think if we continue to move in this direction, there needs to be some type of just media guidelines.
Yeah.
That just, hey, guys. And if you don't ask, the same way we ask for it with refs, the same way we ask for it with players and fans, hey, if you ask something stupid, you get I don't call it a timeout, but you don't get to go to this or that, or if you do this again, you will get your credentials revoked. Got to get to a break.
Shannon Sharp.
When we get back, you see, we got to get to a break so I can try to find him again and get him on the show. Got to get to a break. Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance, think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is the place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsors of Stiles Watkins Radio Row road trip to Las Vegas. We'll be right back. Stiles Watkins.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Stiles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.
Road trip!
Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas! Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Stiles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
I just can't control my feet.
Coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, March 30th. World One presents The Jacksons with Sister Sledge. Tickets available now at the Thunder Valley box office, Ticketmaster.com, and WorldOnePresents.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Tape it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports.
Our Stiles and Watkins road trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For car maintenance from oil changes to tires and brakes, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Now back to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Stiles and Watkins. Take you up to 2
am. So much to do, so much to see, so much going on. Hello? Are we good?
We're having some technical difficulties. One moment.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins. So much to do, so much to see as we are in Vegas, and it's all thanks to Jiffy Lube. Special thanks to Jiffy Lube for making our road trip to Radio Row possible. Jiffy Lube, a proud sponsor of Sactown Sports, and we are joined by the one, the only Rod Brooks. Rod, thank you so much. We hear there's a lot going on your side, so thank you so much for taking the time. NBC Sports Bay Area, been doing this for a very long time. Rod, thank you so much for joining the show.
It is absolutely my pleasure, fellas. How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. We've been trying to form this question in a different way because everybody's asking the game manager question. And Chris, I already stole Chris's question once in a different interview, so I won't do it this time. But what are your thoughts right now on Brock Purdy? Does it feel like, based on everybody saying that he's if everybody is saying that someone is disrespected, at what point can we say maybe he's getting respected now?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I mean, listen, quite frankly, I don't pay attention to all the noise about Brock Purdy. I know what I think, and I will tell you fellas how I view Brock Purdy. But my thing is, how about we just normalize people not giving a damn about about their favorite team's quarterback. We all know what we see with Brock Purdy. Is it a surprise? Absolutely, it's a surprise. No one thought that he would be what he is right now and do it in such quick fashion. But the day he took over in the Miami game for Jimmy Garoppolo, and I saw all of his home games because we were doing the show out there last year. I saw all of his home games, and I saw Brock Purdy from the beginning look exactly like Brock Purdy right now. There's always an open guy in Kyle Shanahan's system. And Brock Purdy from the beginning, in that emergency start, if you will, because it was early when Garoppolo got hurt, Brock Purdy immediately, accurately found the open guy. A lot of that was Kyle Juszczyk. Once Miami shut that off and he had to go into the middle of the field, he was decisive and accurate to Kittle in the middle of the field. And he did that very well in that game and for the duration of last season. He's doing the exact same thing this year with the addition of the deep ball, and he's showing you that he's got some wiggle too. This was basically what we saw last year. And this, again, it's not a surprise to me that he has been able to play so well and get the Niners back to the NFC Championship game and to the Super Bowl, because what he's doing this year with a couple of improvements, most notably throwing deep, is the same thing he was doing last year.
Rod, we do a segment on the show called Blame Pie where we assign, percentages for, the Kings lost tonight. It was 25% Mike Brown's fault, 30% De'Aaron's fault. If we had to flip that and turn it into from a blame pie to a credit cake, how would you divide that cake for how the 49ers got here?
Well, I mean, so let's keep it with the players.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey is their best player. And that's no disrespect to anybody else on that team, but Christian McCaffrey is their best player. He unlocked everything that we see in this Niner offense. Obviously, Brock Purdy coming in and adding the things that he's added, absolutely that's made it go. But Christian McCaffrey is that dude. So if we want to talk percentages, I'll give, let's just say, I don't know. Now I got to do some quick math. I wasn't expecting this.
It doesn't have to equal 100. It's okay. We don't worry about math here.
Okay. All right. So it's 98%. No. Listen, it's 40% Christian McCaffrey, and then give me the rest of the percentages. Obviously, Debo and Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams. You just simply cannot forget about him, and obviously George Kittle. And who am I missing? Debo Samuel. So, I mean, listen, the thing about this Niner offense is that it is truly the sum of their parts. Because if you don't have one of those guys, that offense doesn't go as it has gone this year. I mean, just think about how when Debo was out for those games and how clunky the Niners looked offensively and how clunky the Niners looked offensively when he had to go out in the playoff game. I mean, when you just want to talk about what he means in terms of the scare he puts into opposing defensive coordinators days before the game, I mean, Debo is right up there with Christian McCaffrey. So, I mean, to me, it's hard to really break it down percentage-wise. We know the quarterback is the most important position on that team, but Christian McCaffrey is that dude to where if he is, knock on wood, not there, that doesn't happen. But if he's not there or if he's not right, it's a completely and totally different offense that is thrown out of whack.
Talking to Rod Brooks, NBC Sports Bay Area 49ers and Giants pre- and post-game show host, and be sure to check out NBC Sports Bay Area. They have your Niners coverage all week long and pre and post, before and after the big game. Rod, I know we're asking you some tougher questions here. Chris has you doing math. You got the calculator out. But how about this one? Who worries you on the Chiefs, not named Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, or Andy Reid? What worries you the most about the Chiefs?
Oh, I go to their defense. And isn't it funny? If we're having this discussion 4 years ago, the majority of the players would be offensive. For me, is defense. You better start with Chris Jones. All right? He's that cat. All right? And what's going to be interesting with Chris Jones is that he's not just going to line up in the middle as a traditional defensive tackle. They like to use him to hunt what they perceive the Chiefs to be soft spots on the offensive line. So I would expect for Chris Jones to be lined up against Colton McKivitz. And what does that do to the Niners in terms of Kittle? Do they keep him in to block, to help McKivitz if it's necessary? And with Kansas City, as good as their defense is, with them having trouble covering tight ends, does that force the Niners to do some things differently, to think about their offensive approach differently? But it's Chris Jones on that defensive side. McDuffie is an outstanding player. I mean, the cat's an all-pro. Their secondary with McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed and Justin Reed, that's a really good, fast, physical, athletic secondary. Those are the guys that I worry about, because if they get it going right and if they're able to stop the Niners in their run game, it's going to be difficult for the Niners to do the things they want to do offensively. Now, can they pivot? Absolutely, because they have Christian McCaffrey, and he can do things in the pass game, because they have Debo and Ayuk, and obviously with Brock Purdy. But that Chiefs defense, while it can be attacked with the run game, they got some cats over there. They got some dudes who can play, and in my mind, it starts with Chris Jones.
Rod, I want to read you a tweet here real quick. Greatest halftime show ever, argue with a sock puppet, and attached is a video of the 2007 Prince halftime performance. First off, I got to ask, what was your favorite part about that performance? And B, what in your opinion, what is the key to a good halftime show?
My favorite part of the performance, Purple Rain in the Purple Rain.
Of course. Come on. Incredible.
And here's the thing. Even a Prince fan, I have full respect of his music and his multi-instrumental talent, but I'm not necessarily a Prince stan. That's how good that halftime performance was. Is it made me a guy who, again, I appreciate and respect Prince's ability, but his music just don't hit for me. All right, it's just just personal choice. But that performance he pulled off absolutely reeled me in. And what makes a great halftime performance is the person almost has to be universally liked and respected. And I think Prince is universally liked and respected. And the songs have to be instantly recognizable. They not only got to hook the people who are fans of the halftime performance, but they got to hook people who aren't fans. They got to hook mama, grandmama. They got to hook the kids in. They got, you know what I'm saying? You got people at Super Bowl parties around the country who that's their time to break off and do whatever. You got to find a way to keep those people in front of the television at halftime. And only a few people can do that. Michael Jackson did it with his Super Bowl performance a few years before Prince. Prince did it. the West Coast hip hop performance a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That did it. Like, those songs have to be hits and instantly recognizable, and Prince checked every single one of those boxes.
Talking to Rod Brooks, NBC Sports Bay Area, 49ers and Giants pre and post, and you can find all the Niners coverage that you could ever want and need at NBC Sports Bay Area all week long and after and before the big game. But Rod, look, it's a little bit of a different generation here, but I'm hearing people be a little bit disrespectful about Usher. What are your thoughts on Usher? Because Usher's been doing it for a long time. I was at the dentist and they had a whole playlist of Usher of songs that I had forgot about. What are you worried about Usher? Because this is big for him. He's been doing the Las Vegas residency, but I'm a Usher guy. I performed Usher in 2nd grade, Rod. I need him to do his thing, Rod. I need him to do his thing, Rod, for me.
Well, and listen, first and foremost, Usher, as we call him.
Yes.
Usher, baby. The man is crazy talented, all right? I mean, he's the triple threat, all right? He's got the looks, he's got the voice, and he's got the moves. I would say personally, and I'm not talking from a cultural impact, but I am talking from a musical impact, just as Get Down, I think he's the closest thing we have today to Michael Jackson. So visually, on the screen, Usher is going to get it done, and he's going to convert a lot of people. But let's keep it funky, fellas. And I'm not there. What I'm about to say is going to hit some people the wrong way, but it is not an insult. Usher's black famous, man. Now, not to say that a lot of white people don't know Usher, and a lot of people don't like white people don't like Usher, because of course they do. But Usher is universally beloved amongst Black America, because when we cape for our own, we cape hard for our own. So what I'm excited for Usher is for him to be exposed to 150 million people, some of them who may only know him, with Lil Jon, or some of them may only know him, for hearing about his residency in Vegas and how he be singing to girls and their husbands be sitting there with the mad face, because what you gonna do? Get mad at Usher for singing to your girl? But I'm excited that Usher, who is a ridiculously talented performer, I'm excited he's gonna get his chance to show it on the biggest entertainment stage we have, not just in the United States of America, on the planet. And I promise you, Usher's streaming and downloading or whatever it is nowadays, that's going to go through the roof as soon as he hits his final note. I promise you that.
That is something else, right? I mean, that's a great. No, I got chills here, because that's the thing. The way you said it, it's not that, because I know what you're saying. There are movies that some people have seen, that some people haven't. There are artists that some people listen to and some people don't. And Usher, he did cross over, but it's not full on. It's the weddings. It's oh my gosh, with will.i.am, but he's got so much more to his bag, and I'm even more excited for it. Rod Brooks, thank you so much, man. That was amazing, and you're right there in the Bay Area, so we're definitely going to have you on the show again. This is not the last time. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy the Super Bowl.
All right, guys, I appreciate the time, and definitely look forward to talking again, man. You guys be easy.
All righty, got to get to a break. Thanks again to Rod Brooks. And don't forget, you can get all your Niners coverage on NBC Sports Bay Area all week long, plus pre and post after the big game. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are continuing. More guests. You never know who could show up again. Shannon Sharp watch is still happening. He walked around. Nate got a picture with the Jabberwockies.
I saw that. I know.
Right?
We're just trying to do an interview.
During the segment, all right?
Popped up.
Just shameless.
We got guys coming up to the booth trying to talk to you guys when you're doing an interview.
Trying to do the interview. I thought Nate was going to pop and lock it. I didn't know what was going on.
I started taking pictures with one, the other one.
I saw that. I saw that. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, more Stiles and Watkins. You never know what could happen. Thanks to Jiffy Lube, who's got us in Vegas. We'll be right back. Sactown Sports.
It started with 32 teams back in September with one goal. Now we're down to the final 2 with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet just, when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins. You never know what might happen. This is a, people would joke with me about, or my family is probably laughing right now if they're listening or watching, because I like a nice structure.
Yeah,
and
sure,
this is just the most fluid thing ever, and you just gotta love
controlled
it.
Chaos.
It is controlled chaos.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. We are going to be joined shortly by our guy Q, who does a lot for the Raiders.
Right.
All right, Las PD on air, Las Vegas Sports Network, ESPN Las Vegas.
This is his home turf.
This is his home turf.
So he's got to feel pretty
yes,
comfortable.
we are definitely excited to hear from him. How you feeling so far, Chris?
Pretty good so far. Yeah, we're an hour 15 in. Yeah, we knocked out a couple of interviews before the show started. Feeling pretty good. It felt easy. We did a good amount of prep, I feel like, for our guests. So I'm feeling good about how the show's going so far. And I'm just seeing all of these people walk by the booth. I'm like, the odds that we're just going to get 3 or 4 guests, that I'm like, well, even Kevin Blackstone's one of them, but I'm like, how? There's just, I'm just excited for what the rest of this week is going to bring.
Exactly.
And I already know. Yeah, Jay's over here about to run around.
I'm about to give Jay my Apple Watch because he's getting these steps in. That's what I'm saying. We saw also. I didn't see him leave, but Lil Dicky was walking around. So we're trying to get Lil Dicky.
Come on, Dave.
If that's possible as well.
He's probably going to McAfee set.
Most likely.
Dude, the sets here are crazy. We got to figure out how we can. I see Cam Newton got this nice little wood set.
Yeah, Cam got some bamboo going on.
It's crazy.
You know
what's going on, Q?
There he is.
Come on now. Let me find out I'm on the air in Sacramento.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come on home. Q Myers joins us. Our guy, Q, who does, the PD. You're doing a lot, Q, for Las Vegas Sports Network, ESPN Las Vegas. Thank you so much.
ESPN National now, Alan. Don't shut my boy now.
Hey,
I catch him here and there now.
All right, Q.
Hey, look, I'm just happy to be on the radio in Sacramento, California, man. That's all representing, man. The 916. Shout out, man. Let's go.
Yeah, look, we're trying to keep the vibes right, but we got to ask this question just off top.
Okay.
We did this actually, and we asked, because Sacramento, great Raiders fan base, the nation is everywhere.
For sure.
Which one would sting you more, though? The Niners or the Chiefs?
Man, look, this is what I tell Raider Nation. This is what I'm just telling myself. I'm rooting for Monday. I'm rooting for Monday.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's the off season for everybody.
Yeah.
There's no win.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people will call into the station and they're like, oh, well, I don't understand the beef with the 49ers. And I was like, well, let me tell you. Let me tell you about the beef, right? because, I'm a Bay Cat, right? So we picked a line. We drew a line in the sand. And I have homeboys. I was like, all right, you go there or you going with us?
Yep.
right?
That's what I keep telling people.
And that's what it is. And so you don't want to see them. I remember the game. It was a Thursday night game, man. The Raiders went to Santa Clara, not San Francisco. They went to Santa Clara. You can see the edge. You can see the edge, Jimmy. You can see the edge, Jimmy, right?
They don't like when you do that either.
But I just speaking facts.
Yeah.
I mean, they play in Great America's parking lot.
Wow.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, it's not wrong, though.
Come on.
Spot the
It's
line.
no longer Great America is moving over to allow the 49ers to take over the whole area.
Look, man, I used to be at Great America, man. I used to go and get the videos, man. I was, tag team back again. Check that record. Let's begin. You know what I mean? Like we filmed the videos with the homeboys, right?
Yeah,
and we were chasing the girls. Great America's a great place.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Hey, I like how you said chasing the young ladies. That was it.
Hey, look, man. Look, man. I might be married now.
There you go, Jordan.
But no, I mean, seriously. I mean, so you got the beef with the 49ers just because of the Bay. And then, of course, the Chiefs are in your division.
Right.
So you can't win. And then they're in your stadium, in your locker room.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Popping champagne, either
Right.
one. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and I mean, Vegas is obviously always popping, but, like, have you felt the Super Bowl bring? I mean, it's already independent entities. They can pop by themselves.
Right.
You bring them together. Have you felt like something different in the city this week?
It's Vegas on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just got here yesterday.
Look, it's like this. On Radio Row, Mondays are really slow.
Yeah.
It's been busy since Sunday.
Yeah.
We came here to set up on Sunday. I'm like, wait, who are all these people? They were all, everyone had the same plan. We're going to set up, get ready. We're going to go out, check out the city. Everyone comes here for the Super Bowl anyway. Yeah. But to actually have the game here in town, too.
I didn't even think about that. Right.
Yeah, because people come here for the Super Bowl anyway. So, yeah, man, this has been exciting. I've had extra juice all the time. Like, we haven't been getting much sleep because you're not supposed to if you're going to be on Radio Row. Like, you soak it all in and take it. But, man, I just wake up and I just got that extra juice. Like, I'm ready to go. You know, it's another day. So, yeah, man, this has been fun. It's electric. It's going to be part of the rotation, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Right? Miami, New Orleans, Arizona for some reason, and then Vegas, right? I mean, no shade to Arizona, but I don't understand why
things is not like
I don't
the
understand why it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's just good weather.
Glendale?
You golf? You golf? If you golf, and then if you don't golf, there's
Ain't nothing
not
there
much.
for you.
Joined by Q Myers, all things Las Vegas, ESPN, Raiders, all things in that regard. Q's got you. Q, I'm trying to ask you here.
Okay.
This is going to be a tough one.
Okay.
I'm looking here. All right. We know the Raiders. They're making moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot,
That's
but
all
I'm
good.
because I don't want to do. We can do the Niners or Chiefs, but I'd rather do this one for you.
Okay.
Because we're gonna do this in a different way. Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. They have the 13th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Q Myers, if in this alternate world, you were able to give up that 13th pick for one Brock Purdy, would you do it?
No, and that's not shade at him. I think he's a damn good quarterback. I actually covered him when he was at Iowa State.
Okay.
So I was in Texas for a long time, so I know the Big 12. I actually wanted the Raiders to select him.
Wow.
With that being said, I think that the Raiders need a game changer. He's a good quarterback. I'm not going to call him a game manager because I think that's slightly disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's a really good quarterback. I think that the Niners could definitely win with him. I think a lot of teams could win with him. I think the Raiders need someone who's just different, who's cut different. It's 9 years of Derek Carr, right? And he was good, but he was good.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he was good.
That's how you put
The
it.
end.
Right.
Right. And look at the long line of the Raider quarterbacks, right? It hasn't been a guy, just a dude that stands out. Like who's your Steve Young?
Yeah. No,
who's
it's
your
starting to
Joe
look like those
Montana?
Browns jerseys where they got all the ex-quarterbacks.
So what Derek did is he made he like solidified that position where it was like, okay, stable. That's the best word. He stabilized it. Now how do you make it better? Brock, I think, can do some really good things, but I think the Raiders as an organization needs a face. They need someone that, Antonio Pierce is the face right now as the head coach. He's brought Raider Nation all together. I think that they need a big-time difference maker.
Yeah.
Whether that's a Jaden Daniels where you'd have to give up everything to go up and trade and get him. Right. That would be choice number one for me.
Okay.
The AP is great friends with Jaden Daniels, coached him at Arizona State. So there's that connection. He was in the locker room week 18 after the win.
Really?
Jaden Daniels is already in the locker room, so he's already let it be known he wants to play for AP. So there's that. I like Michael Penix.
Right.
His injury history is something you got to pay attention to, but I like Penix a lot. I think he would be a guy that can embrace what the Raiders are, throw the ball deep, right? Taking it back to the old school.
Yep.
I just there's a couple quarterbacks that I like. I mean, I look at guys like J.J. McCarthy, and I think he'd be okay. Bo Nix, I think he'd be okay.
You take Brock Purdy over J.J. McCarthy
for sure.
Come on, now.
For sure.
Yeah,
I would take him over McCarthy. I would take him over Nix. I would take him over a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
I just think that the Raiders for their team needs a big time just difference maker right now.
What do you think they will do? You said what you hope they do or what you would want them to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a little bit more difficult with the. Do you try and put your eggs in the young quarterback basket and hope that works out, or there's a couple names out there, some veteran names.
Yeah.
Some might not excite you as much as others.
I think that they need to revamp the quarterback room. Aiden O'Connell has earned his role there, and I think he has a role, right? Yeah. He showed that he could win some games, but he's not that game changer that I'm looking for either. So I think that they go and get a veteran. Maybe it's a Russell Wilson. Maybe he's a guy that you add, on the cheap because Denver's going to pay most of his salary. I've heard thoughts of maybe you go get Kirk Cousins because Devontae Adams likes him, so maybe you try to help him out. Yeah, I don't know how healthy he is coming back from that Achilles. That kind of concerns me. But, I think that you also go into the draft and you have to get a guy.
Yeah.
You have to get a guy that you're saying, okay, he's going to be a dude for 10 years. Like, if you have the conviction that he's going to be your guy to lead your organization for 10, 15 years, go do what the Chiefs did when they went and got Mahomes. They traded up from 27 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if everybody in the league knew that Mahomes was going to be that good, he wouldn't have been at number 10.
Exactly. That's a steal.
Yes.
That's a steal.
Yes.
That's a steal. Q Myers, thank you so much for joining us. If you are a Raider fan and you are not listening to Q Myers on any of his many platforms, I don't know how much of a Raider fan you are. Get it figured out right now, Q. Thank you so much. We are in your home. This is your area.
Turf. Hey, look,
your turf.
Look, I welcome you guys in with open arms. But with that being said, I want to get to the 916, man. Sactown Sports has got to show me some love, man. If I got to do a weekend show, if I got to come on as correspondent,
we got you.
Tell me what I need to do, man. I love Sacramento, so shout out to the 916.
There you go, Q Myers. Thank you very much, man. We will talk to you very shortly, very soon. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing more guests. More Kings talk, more Niners talk, more Super Bowl talk, and it's all thanks to Jiffy Lube, Stiles Watkins in Vegas. We'll be right back, Sactown Sports.
Catch Stiles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Stiles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my friends at Fire Wings, talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Road trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For car maintenance from oil changes to tires and brakes, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Now back to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Thank you again to Q Myers, all things Las
I wasn't
Vegas.
sure you were going to make it back.
Well, I did. I had to. I saw Pat McAfee. I had.
Did
to
you
take a
really?
video. Well, he's doing his show, but I had. I mean, it was so
back
close.
Yeah, right. No,
Right. And JJ Watt was there.
Was he
so,
really?
they're all sitting, all six of them on a couch. And
Was
there's a
AJ
whole-
Hawk there?
He was there.
Wow.
He was
They
there.
dragged
No,
him
he was
out?
there.
What?
That's how big.
What
this is? That's how big this is. That
oh my
he
gosh,
he is in the building.
That might be worth. I might have to get a picture of that just for proof.
I got the video.
I might just
I'm
take a
already
picture of his
sending it out.
legs. I don't think I've ever seen anything besides his torso up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great situation.
really
when you are, able to work remote,
Bro,
but he's out.
I will never. We watch Pat McAfee's show. It's on our TVs in the station just
Right.
about every time. I think his show crosses over with ours.
Right.
And every single day, I see AJ Hawk remote, and I'm like, this man is on possibly the biggest show, sports radio talk show,
right,
in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get him in studio. There's no way. What is he possibly doing?
I thought he
that
was
makes
AI.
him more busy than being live for the Pat McAfee show.
Here's my question. All right, this is a off the cuff because that's how this whole show has
Yep.
been going, but that's how we like it.
Oh yeah.
Running into somebody, let's say I didn't, but let's say, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no,
You're making me worried here that you did.
No, I did not, but I didn't run into anybody. Now that's not the question. Let's say Pat McAfee is in the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. I'm in the bathroom too.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Would I ask him to be on the show? Is that fair or foul?
Pat McAfee, maybe that might be like the only
Kind of his
dude
shtick,
here.
yeah.
Shannon Sharp, anybody?
Shannon Sharp, I don't know.
Maybe
either one of them.
Maybe you just time it so you're washing hands at the same time. You can't be at the station at the same time. You got to on your way out. It's got to be
right.
it's
Right.
just
Okay.
the
Okay. So
set-
you
that
can't.
specific.
You have to be.
You can't be in action.
You can't
Sure.
be urinal
Yes.
to urinal.
Okay.
You
All right.
can't
There
be
we
next
go.
door.
Okay.
You can't
but-
be next door.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Especially not in the stalls. Don't scream it over the stall.
I'm just saying. We're trying to get as many people on this
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
as
I
possible.
know. I haven't seen Jay in like 10 minutes, so I can
know.
only assume where
He's gonna come back with like Obama or something crazy.
Yeah. Our guy Jason Ross, friend of the show, in the SAC chat, he should be asking you, Alan, to be on his
Yes, he really
show.
should. He really should.
You're right. You're right about that, Jason. But we're making it our way. This is only day one.
It's only day
this
one.
is only day one.
It starts with the urinal meeting, and then
Okay,
after that, by day 3.
We got to find a better.
Yeah. You're the one who presented that
I don't know. A club. It's some type of club.
While we have this downtime, can I tell you guys what I've been getting into?
Sure.
Please, yes.
Bounty, the wipes, like the paper
Yeah,
towels.
they're up there. I can see
Yeah,
them.
so they have
nice
this
little
whole
station.
building in here. It's like 2 stories.
Yes, yeah. I
see
They
it
have
right
a
over there.
game
It's over
where
your
you like
shoulder.
throw a
I
ball.
was seeing
We have
that.
to do that after, and we'll make
Okay.
a little vlog out of it.
Okay.
But they're just giving away hot wings and paper towels with Bounty. So they're just
So you
go up
have to use the
I
paper
just got the
towel.
wings, and the paper towels. So I'm getting
What?
into that. It's crazy. There's like
Those are possibly my 2 favorite things.
Yeah.
Paper towels and wings.
it's a great combo.
Okay.
But it's nuts here. Yeah, I did see I mean, I saw a bunch of reporters. I don't know, like what I can say, what I can't say.
Who's your biggest fanboy for being a reporter, Nate? Like, who are you going to fanboy seeing? Just a reporter side, not necessarily a player.
I mean, I've kind of already done that with the Niners. Like, I've met Mayoko and like those guys, and Lombardi. Like, I said, "What's up?" and I'm a
tall guy.
Yeah, and it's weird just walking right next to Shannon Sharp.
And right,
it's very weird.
Well, he's walking back and forth, and he sees his 12-person entourage.
And he looks pissed.
No. But I said the shout out earlier. So that's just day one. I don't know how long he's going to be here, but we'll figure it out. And the reason we are already having all these great guests on, and it's only the beginning, is because of Jiffy Lube. Sactown Sports Road Trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters. All right, let's talk about this right now. Just get it over with.
All right.
Because I showed the Cam Newton picture to Nate, and he almost spit out his coffee. What are we talking about?
You shouldn't have posted it.
Why? I don't care.
Dude, he looks like a mountain.
He does look.
Okay, so everybody is responding to me.
You look like a hill.
Everybody's saying, Alan, he did you dirty. Look,
He did. He took your phone. He said, I got you, brother. He said, I got you, bud.
He said, I got you,
with
bro.
bud.
Okay,
I got you, little guy.
He's 6'5". You figure his wingspan. It was
it's
tough.
Crazy.
6'5" could easily.
Somebody asked, is that Photoshop?
Yeah, he looks like he's standing literally on a different level than you.
That's what I'm going to tell people.
I mean, he looks like he's standing on a step
That's
stool
what I'm
or
going to tell
something.
people.
And it's also, you have a bit of wonder in your eyes, which I don't. It's you're.
That's right. That's right.
Simone throwing the Zonts out
there. No,
there.
but that's right. Look, Cam Newton at Auburn, dude.
Those
my eyes that you see. In that picture, that was how I watched each week at Auburn.
Oh my!
So here's the story.
Yeah.
Chris and I, we had to go back and forth to get our credentials. We got a nice early workout in, right? And we were feeling real good. We're going down the escalator, and Cam has his outfits. You see the outfit
stuck out.
first. That's what I'm saying.
6'5"
He's a
and
big
wearing
dude. It's not about me. It's about him.
him.
Can we keep the focus on him?
Yeah.
So he is actually walking the other way.
Yeah,
Chris,
you walked up the escalator.
I tried to run up the escalator as it was going down. I was unsuccessful and did not want to fall.
Yeah.
So I just ate it. I didn't eat it, but I just said, okay, I went down. Chris is saying, hey, we got the show. You good? You want me to go with you? I said, no. I'm good. I'm gonna go up and see what happens.
Yes.
I go back up the escalator. Cam is just getting coffee. He's just getting coffee. I roll up to him, and I'll be honest here because we pull back the curtain. I'm very honest on this show. I was a little fanboyish because, man to man, some people don't. Some dudes, like Marshawn, doesn't take pictures with dudes.
Right.
But I'm trying to come at it from a business standpoint.
Yes.
So what happens is I go up to Cam. I say, Cam, you were my guy at Auburn. Super fanboy. Fist pump. Start walking away. No, I'm in the industry, nothing. So I take about 3 steps. I look back. Thinking, Alan, what are you doing? He went into the coffee line, and it was like a movie. I got to do this, right? So I turn back around. I say, hey, by the way, with Sactown Sports, do you have somebody? Because you don't ask for their number.
Yeah, they're going to blow you off.
Do you have somebody? He says, yeah, we'll be down there. I said, cool. And I said, can I get a picture? And I just asked for the picture. Then, yes, I held it up, and I don't think I could get his whole frame with my arm. So he says, I got you, bro. Takes the phone, and I knew, and I had a decision to make. Do I post these or not? But it's Cam Newton. He's hot with these Brock Purdy takes. So I said, you know what? Clout over everything.
Yeah, for sure.
All right? He's a big dude. Everybody knows that. And if I got to deal with some ridicule from Nate Littlefield, then it's
Show
worth
me
it
your
to me.
picture with
right.
Cam Newton, okay?
That's right.
I'm right there with you on the fam. Cam would be one that, it would be tough to not say something.
And he
about
was just
that Auburn
chilling.
Season.
No entourage.
Nothing.
He was just by himself.
Yep. No,
what do you have to say now, Nate?
By the way, go ahead, Nate.
So it's like I'm
taking
a different approach here.
What is
I'm
the
taking
problem?
pictures with the 4'5" Jabberwockies, so I look like a monster.
Yeah, because I'm comfortable in my body. That's why.
Yeah. See, I'm insecure.
No, I didn't say
that's why I'm over here off camera sucking down wings.
Whoa! We got to get to a break. We got to get to a break, and Nate is eating those wings thanks to Jiffy Lube.
Yes.
We got to get to a break. When we
Bounty.
get back, more Niners talk, more Super Bowl talk, and we will continue our quest of whoever we see out here. Jay, we haven't seen Jay, so normally when you don't see Jay, he's going to show up with someone. All right, hang with the Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with $0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Special thanks to Jiffy Lube for making our road trip to Radio Row possible. Jiffy Lube, a proud sponsor of Sactown Sports. We are going to be joined shortly by Stevie Johnson. Bay Area, born in San Francisco.
Really?
Went to school in Fairfield, went to high school in Fairfield. So we are in the process of tracking him down. Chris Watkins, Nate Littlefield doing his thing. Simone, thanks again to Simone, doing a great job for us. When you don't have eyes like you normally do, it makes things a little bit more complex. But, you know, this is the A-team, and we are getting it done the way that we know how, Chris, one thing that I feel like people aren't talking enough about. Well, you talk about it, then it goes away. Then you talk about it, then it goes away. And I saw Jason Dumas, friend of the show, talk to Jake Moody on night one. What if this thing comes down to a kick? Jake Moody said he kicked well here. I think it was maybe in college or something like that. But he's kicked well here. He feels good about it. Okay. What if this thing comes down to a kick, and out of everything we've talked about, Kyle Shanahan, you got to get the quarterback. You got the quarterback right. You got all these things right, but you decided, and we did it. It's not that unique to go with a rookie kicker, but maybe you just went with the wrong one.
I mean, it's really tough because it's just a really big gamble that they took. And I think I saw Robbie Gould is actually running around Radio Row as well.
Oh, my goodness.
But that's the interesting thing about that decision is just like you said. I mean, it's a Super Bowl ready team. Mm-hmm. And to take that big of a risk on a position that doesn't seem important, but like you said, what if you have this superstar team, this team that's Super Bowl or bust from the beginning of the year? They finally they actually do realize getting to the Super Bowl,
right?
And then all of this crumbles because of a rookie kicker. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a really big gamble to take, but that's also why the Niners have all of those excellent skill position players, is so that the game doesn't come down to the leg of Jake Moody, much like the game, frankly, shouldn't come down to the play of Brock Purdy. Like, right. Brock, of course, him playing well in should definitely be additive, but Kyle Shanahan's game plan should not be this game is going to be won or lost because of Brock Purdy. And the same should be said about Jake Moody. The Niners should not put themselves in a situation in which their season is on the line with a Jake Moody kick.
But it's a Super Bowl.
It's out of their hands, though.
But it's a Super Bowl, and you never know.
No,
you never know what could
not.
happen. Here, what do you think? And obviously, you're not in his mind. Do you think Jake Moody right now, his mindset is, I hope it comes down to me, or is it because it's the same thing as when you play baseball? Yeah. And what do they say? You get subbed in, and as soon as you get subbed in, the ball comes right to you.
Yep.
Is there? Do you think Jake Moody feels like I want to be a part of this, or? I hope we just crush them and I don't have to worry about it.
Are we giving him truth serum or are we just asking him?
Truth serum.
I think if you're giving him truth serum, he probably doesn't want the game to come down to his leg. I think he's probably hyping himself up all this week, telling himself, I'm going to be ready for that moment. Hey, if my number is called, I need to be mentally prepared for that moment. But again, if you're giving him truth serum, I feel like he's there's no way he wants the game to. Of course he'll do it. I mean, and it's not saying he won't make it, but I definitely don't think that he's gonna want the game to come down to his legs. Just because you'll get all the glory if it goes in, but I'm sure he's well aware of the people coming down his road if he has. And it doesn't even have to be. I'm thinking more of game on the line, like fourth quarter kick. It could be as simple as, I mean, he missed a kick early in the what was that in the Lions game, or if you miss a kick in the first quarter and then you guys end up losing by 2, it's much like how we talk about the Kings free throws. It's like, well, you left some points out there,
right? And it does feel like he is good at compartmentalizing.
Sure,
he's basically done poorly to start a game, but he still made a field goal late. Because I think when you get blocked, right, it's not necessarily the same as a miss. So maybe it makes you feel a little bit differently. I don't know if that's really on you, right, or is it just good defense? So I think that he's probably hoping that it doesn't come down to him. But, you get that sports psychologist or whoever it is to put you in the correct mind.
He's got to be
headspace or mindset, because anything can happen in this game. I'm just really struggling with who on the Chiefs, and I know Rashee Rice has played well. He's a little bit banged up.
Yeah.
But if you're able to take care of Travis Kelce,
just double him, right? I mean, you got to just take him out of the game.
And your run defense, as we spoke with some of our guests earlier, their run defense a little bit underrated because it hasn't been. I guess it can't be underrated if it's not currently good, but we know that it's not been playing. It's different. The Chiefs have a bad run defense.
Yes.
The Niners' run defense has been playing badly.
Yes.
That's two different things.
Completely different things.
That's two different things.
Yes.
One you can fix.
Yes.
The other, you can.
There's a foundation there
Yes.
for the Niners to stop the run. And even though it hasn't happened, I mean, that's kind of the advantage, I think, of having this 2 weeks off, or I guess, 2 weeks off for the Niners, is that you get to kind of fully reset. And just because you had a bad game the previous week, it's not necessarily going to roll over. It does truly feel like this is a good restart, a reset for both teams. And that's why I think I asked the other day, like, how much is past performance in terms of, the Niners struggling, I'll say, to get here, and the Chiefs, not that they didn't struggle, but they answered every single question that was asked of them to get here. I just feel like all of that stuff is just out the window, and I feel like I would focus more if I were to try and find numbers that are going to tell the story of this game. I would definitely look more for the bigger sample size than the last 2 weeks, or in the Chiefs' case, the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I know it's been a little bit hot and cold, and it was weird, right? Because the same time when Debo goes out that 3-game stretch, their defense also played poorly.
Yeah, missed tackles left and right.
It was just a weird time for the Niners, but it feels like they're back on the right track. And and this is above the X's and O's, I was reading something on the social sphere, and somebody said, and a wise person once said, it's hard to stay hungry when you are well fed.
Right.
And the Chiefs, I know there's guys on the team where the Chiefs, they have not won a Super Bowl yet. I get all that.
Yeah.
But the Niners have been through the heartache. They have starved.
Yeah.
They have starved, and
For
the
a long
Chiefs have
time.
been eating very well. Not that they didn't earn their own plate.
Absolutely.
Okay,
No,
they
right.
went out, they hunted, they got their food. Don't get me wrong, but they are now well fed. And I know Travis Kelce was quoted saying that he wants this Super Bowl more than any other one.
Right,
I don't know if that's because of Taylor Swift. I know he said, she got her hardware and now I want my hardware. But it's hard for me to believe that in their cores, even if you are the doggiest dog, if you are Patrick Mahomes, he wants to be the GOAT. We get all that. But it's less about the Chiefs maybe lacking hunger and more about the
Just
Niners
almost an
tasting
excess.
it year after year to watch the Rams get a ring. And now you get an opportunity to play the team that you had.
Yeah, it's a full circle.
To play the team that you had with a better quarterback. It's just hard for me to believe. And we haven't done our official picks yet, but it's hard for me to believe that that won't translate on the field, especially maybe if they had been rolling, maybe there's a bit of a letdown and if it was reversed. But the fact that the Chiefs were rolling, the fact that the Niners have struggled, I think is a perfect storm for the Niners, again, to feel like they might be a bit underrated when we know as far as the guys they got Chase Young. Chase, where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Hargrave, we got you from the Eagles. Everybody in media day saying Charvarius Ward is much better being on this side. Well, let's see it.
Yeah, no, I mean, completely. And that just made me think too. And I was planning to ask some guests, but I'll ask you. And I know it's a little bit early in the week, but if you had to try and nail down who would be your dark horse for some MVPs, and I know we're probably going to get a lot into prop talk in the later portions of this week, but is there anybody on give me a guy on both sides that you feel like if you had to pick a dark horse, not your Mahomes, not your Kelce, not your McCaffreys, not your Purdy's, I'll possibly give you a Debo, but who are some real dark horse candidates that you're looking at for a potential MVP run?
I'm telling you right now, Kyle Juszczyk.
Oh my!
It's Kyle Juszczyk. It is. He's going to score a touchdown.
It's going to have to be 2 touchdowns in
I'm telling you, bro.
Another toe drag swag.
He did it in the last one.
I'm telling you.
I think he scored the first touchdown for the Niners.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right
toe
now.
drag swag, baby.
Toe drag
It's
swag.
Kyle
Bring it
Juszczyk.
back.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
We can get Kristen and make a nice little
And then
MVP
it's
puffer,
going to
dude.
take
It's gonna
off.
be
I'm
nuts.
telling you.
Sorry, Taylor.
They're going to They're going to.
There's
make
a new
Sorry
girl
Taylor
in town.
one. They're going to make a Sorry Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Collab.
That's insane. If he even receives a vote, I'm going to know it's from Alan Stiles. I like it though. I mean, it's because I could see it. I could definitely see it. How about Ayuk? You think Ayuk's got a chance at all? I mean, what would it take? It's also going to be tough. I mean, for either, what would it take for either quarterback? To not?
I think that George Kittle, he's not a lot younger than Travis Kelce.
Right.
He had a better year, right? I would say George Kittle is to the point where he will show up in spots.
Yeah.
And he's a big game guy.
Yeah.
So I would put
Big
George
plays,
Kittle
too, yeah.
above Ayuk as far as
I can
MVP.
see it. I probably would see
I mean,
it.
look at the
He's
Dallas
a
game
showman.
this year.
He's a showman.
Right.
When they went to Mexico last season,
three
right?
touchdowns. He's pulling up the shirt, the
Right.
Dallas shirt. That's a good call. I don't mind that. But almost no way if the Niners win, Brock Purdy's not getting the MVP.
You don't think so? I could see a world
If
easily where
he has
McCaffrey gets it,
one
where
touch-
Debo gets it.
I think the NFL likes what's going on here.
That's true.
I think the NFL
Yeah.
likes the
helps the
chaos.
story.
If Brock has 200 yards and a passing TD, no INTs, I think he might win MVP.
well, that's why I lost the football feud, because Mahomes has MVPs. Right. So I'm thinking I really didn't think he got the 4 touchdowns, but the bright lights, you won it fair and square. But me, I'm just thinking MVPs, right? Maybe Mahomes did something, and then he really didn't play that well, but he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I mean, they're going to try and give it to Brock the best they can, but I think, I don't know, Nate, if you tell me 220 and a touchdown, I'm going to say, okay, what did McCaffrey do? Did McCaffrey get a touchdown? Did McCaffrey eclipse 100 yards, all purpose?
Well, if Brock makes a play late in the game, I mean, if he makes it's 3rd and 15 and he hucks it out to McCaffrey, or obviously any of those guys that, make him the game manager, he is.
Yeah. What are the odds of like a Fred Warner?
Bad.
Stopping the run, maybe getting a pick? No.
It'd have to be like a 3-interception strip sack fumble. They are not giving it to a defensive guy. That's the NFL like giving up, I think.
Okay.
All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, more Stiles and Watkins, more guests, more Niners talk, more Super Bowl talk. Thanks to Jiffy Lube, Sactown Sports.
Catch Stiles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Stiles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one? No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Vegas to cover the big game is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
The guests keep coming, and this segment is no different thanks to Jiffy Lube. Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance, think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is the place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsors of Stiles Watkins Radio Row Road Trip to Vegas. We are joined by West Coast legend, owner of the franchise sports media, TQ. Thank you for joining the show, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. I just saw my man walking down the aisle. I'm like, hold on.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Hold on.
Jay's
What's
a superstar
going on
around here,
man. Boy, come on, man. I'm just trying to be like T when I grow up.
That's right.
Just get a little older.
Now, I'm going to do it this way because we got plenty to talk about for sports because you got a unique take on your football fandom, and we don't police fandom here. We want to hear that. Yeah. But look, myself, I frequent a lot of concerts, music festivals, all that jazz. So I'm going to ask you this one. I bet you didn't see this coming. Auto-tune. You've been around the game for a while. Auto-tune. Are you in and out of auto-tune? Is it too much? It's everybody.
That's dope.
It's too much to me.
As an artist, I'm out on it. As a producer, I'm absolutely in.
Okay, there you go. Yes, because it's hot. Oh, my goodness, man. Some people, when you
when they can't get them notes right, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the old school, so I had people tapping my toes with sticks when I was getting These days you can't do all of that, man.
Yeah.
So auto-tune is a tool. I think it's overused. You know what I'm saying? I think people they don't want to put in the work. And a lot of people, especially, it's about getting that idea out. You're paying for studio time. You don't want to keep going over the parts. So I get both sides of it.
Yeah.
But as an artist, no, not for me.
Okay. Good.
I'm just curious. Overall, too, would you say that like the Spotify, the SoundCloud, you can put your music on YouTube? I mean, you could put, if you make music, you can make it available to everyone. Would you say that's been a benefit to the music industry, or has it kind of been a blessing and a curse?
A blessing and a curse. I think we lost a lot of quality control.
Sure, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It becomes more of a popularity contest.
Right.
And like like I say, I'm from the old school. I got a different kind of ear.
Yeah.
If it ain't mixed,
right.
If
it's not mixed,
if it don't sound a certain way,
yeah.
I can't get to the point of liking the song.
Right.
So but aside from that, it was such a big gate. And there was so many keepers there that kept creative people from being able to get their creations out. And this is even the playing field across the board. So I wish there was some kind of way to just regulate the quality. But outside of that, man, look, if you love music and you believe you're gonna put it out, you want to put it out, the people will let you know if it's good or not.
Right.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yo, T, man, you are I think most of the time most people consider the West Coast legend as far as R&B being Nate Dogg, right? Like 9 times out of 10, he's the hook king, so to say.
Right.
I think secondary, man, like there's an opportunity for a guy like TQ to be part 2. You know, and no disrespect. I think,
not at all.
Nate is a legend, right?
Absolutely.
Rest in peace. But I mean, where do you find yourself falling on that list? Because it is sports. We're talking about rankings and everybody likes a list.
Yeah. I mean, I think I laid some groundwork for a lot of what's going on right now. I think, I'm not patting myself on the back or nothing.
No, go ahead, brother. I will, you know.
I listen to the radio. I listen to songs and stuff these days. And I say, okay, I got about 15, 20 sons.
Come on now.
we call them disciples.
Yeah.
We call them disciples.
That's better.
And if one of them is blessed, I thank you. I thank you for that because I'm on that.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, you got, I think it's a respect factor because a lot of times when I run into these guys, they come up to me and give me my love. So, you would rather have somebody repeating what you did,
of course,
than for you to just be fell off the wayside. So it's flattery to me, man, at the end of the day.
That's
right. And I mean, as far as just kind of meshing into hip hop, the Bay did that.
Come on now.
The Bay did that.
Keep
for
it
me.
going.
I always tell you, I'm from LA, I'm from Compton,
that part.
but I wet my feet in the Bay. The producers that I was working with in the beginning, Mike Mosley and all the rest of them.
Shout out AWOL.
Exactly. So
sick with it.
Exactly. They took me to the Bay, man, and I just hit studio to studio to studio to studio. And I'm like, I remember I used to ask Mike, I'm like, what is these dudes doing, man? You don't hear from these people in LA, but everybody got a compound. Right. Everybody got a mansion.
Right.
Everybody got this. Everybody, and that's when they put me up on that independent game.
Yeah.
And that's what that kind of changed everything.
Talking to TQ, West Coast legend, singer, producer, owner, franchise sports media. All right, we'll get to some sports now.
Yeah.
Because you said
one more, Alan. I don't mean to cut you off. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Ahead.
I'll let you answer sports.
Because once we go this, we can't go back.
Okay. I don't mean to cut you off. But I've never asked you this. I've had an interview with you once or twice. Cash money.
Yeah.
Talk about the cash money thing. Like, and I mean, when I say talk about it, I mean, we only have so much time, but take me from the beginning to the end. Like, how did you even be a part of that? Why Cash Money, and then you left, and then you were there, you were a writer. What happened?
I mean, man, so I was on my own promotional tour, and this was back in the days when you had to do all of the in stores, right?
Yeah, meet and greets.
Yeah, and all that. Every radio station I went to, every store I went to, they would all say, baby, put us up on you. Baby, put us up on. I'm like, who the hell is Baby? I didn't know at the time.
Right.
And like Juvenile was out and we would cross paths and stuff, but I never got a chance to really meet them or any of that. So after so much of people telling me about Baby, I had family down in Alabama and they made the connection between BG and Baby. I loved BG. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this Cash Money thing. One day they came to LA, they was on Julio G's show and just like, where's TQ? We looking for TQ. Can anybody find TQ? People got to calling me. I answered the phone. My manager was like, Julio G had called her, say, look, these dudes, they just got this big $30 million contract. we need to get TQ on the phone. Let's link with him.
Wow.
So I remember it was at the time when Shaq and Kobe was in the finals. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get to the house.
Yeah,
right.
She was like, no, you got to make this detour. I went and met them at their hotel, man. And it just started from there. They just told me they was fans. They loved my music.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so from that point, they was like, look, we'd love to have you on some shows or whatever. And let's just see what we could do. We know you signed and all that already. So I used to just, Baby would call me and I was just like fly to wherever they was at.
Yeah.
I come out on stage. I'll do West Side. He would have me come into the studio and write, do the little poop poop.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, this is cool. This is all right. And finally, Slim just popped the question, like, man, them people at Sony don't know what they're doing with you. What can we do? You wanna get up out of there?
Wow.
I say yes. They started making calls. Sony was like, nah, TQ making us money. If y'all call again, we're gonna sue you for tampering.
Right.
And Slim hit me up. He said, man, if you can get yourself out the deal, I got a deal for you.
Wow.
And sure enough, I was going back and forth with Sony, found a way to get myself out of the deal. That's another story for another time.
We asked about cash money.
Yeah. So then, I went there because it was a great opportunity to write.
Yeah.
And still to this day, all the things that I wrote while I was there still take care of my family. So the bad part about it, we was never able to get an album out. I don't think they really understood the R&B game. I had come from being overseas doing stadiums with a 7-piece band.
Right.
And now I'm supposed to like just rock with a DJ.
Right.
And it just didn't work out. But at the end of the day, I'm a songwriter first. I always have been a songwriter.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for Cash Money for giving me that opportunity because when you own copyrights, you're gonna own it forever.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where it's at.
That's right. Talking to TQ, West Coast music legend.
Thank you, sir.
Owner, Franchise Sports Media. You're getting love on the YouTube chat as well, talking about they loved your album. That's from the 916.
Yes.
So they love you out there in Sacramento.
Sactown, back them down.
So you from LA, you spent time in the Bay.
Yes.
Because we're sitting here getting ready for the interview, and Chris is trying to figure out, are you Raiders or are you Niners? And you hit us with the both?
Both, man. Listen,
how does that work?
I tell you how it works. Big USC fan.
Okay.
Always had USC season tickets since I was a little bitty baby.
Yeah.
Right? The first I remember about football was Marcus Allen and Ronnie Lott. Both from USC.
Right. Coming on today, 115.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't give a damn if they was going to Egypt.
Right. You were rocking with them.
I was rocking with wherever they was going, and that's how we started. We stayed Raider fans and Raider season ticket holders while they was in LA. And I always followed the team, man. I always loved the Niners. I always loved the Raiders. I love when they play against each other. I'm just an antagonist in this stadium out here. I get everybody mad. Get all of the Niner fans on my side one play, then I'll switch on them quick.
You can't lose.
Playing dirty games.
Cannot lose. Get full of them margaritas and just have a ball.
Yeah. So you don't root for like if the Raiders and Niners are playing, you're not picking a side. You're just you're just
that's a
winning
great
that
question.
You know what? It depends on what part of the game. It depends on who I'm sitting by.
That year too, maybe
that year.
That
but
specific team.
Most of the time, I'm rooting for the defense.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. And who do you think's going to get it done? So you have that. You should have that. Disdain in your heart for the Chiefs.
Oh, absolutely.
But do you think the Niners get number 6?
They get it. I absolutely think they get it. I think that this Chiefs team has some weaknesses that they haven't had in the past.
Sure.
And I think that the Niners' brain trust with Kyle Shanahan, with the defensive coordinators, I think they can expose that weakness. I think the Niners have shown that they can come from behind. They are now a fourth quarter team. I think they have that ability, and we didn't see that probably ever.
Boy Brock,
man.
Boy Brock.
Yeah. And like I got a chance to, I shoot for my company. So I'm on the sidelines with my camera. I really love doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to shoot Brock when his last season at Iowa State. They played against UNLV. And I've never seen a college quarterback with that much control over the offense. He wasn't always checking in with his coach.
Right.
Didn't always have to look over.
Right.
He made his adjustments at the line. He was free to audible. And he just had such a command of the team. So once he came in and started doing his work, man, dialing up, I kind of expected it.
Yeah.
Because that shocked me. Like, I normally shoot on UNLV side. Once I went over to Iowa State, I didn't come back.
Right.
It's a dynamic that I think we have an advantage of. I got music ears, right? I've produced, I've been an engineer, I've been an artist, and I just hear so much. So if you got a camera,
right,
and you got keen ears, you hear everything going on the field.
Yeah.
So I just go to where I know the play's gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hear the adjustments on one side, on the other side. So it was real good being able to shoot him and just kind of project what kind of career he would have if it was strong in his way. He was gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
See, man, I don't mean to jump, hopscotch a little bit. Of course, Alan and Chris have set it up on who you got for the game, but we're talking about the Oakland A's prior to you coming on before we hit live, man. And I'm a lifelong Oakland A's fan. I mean, I don't want to see him leave from the town. I'll be 100% honest. You're out here in Vegas, man. You've been out here for quite a while.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Knights, they run the city.
Absolutely.
This is their town.
It is.
The Raiders, they're kind of trying to figure their way out.
It's coming.
If the A's were to come here, are they accepted? Does the city even want them? And when I say the city, I mean yourself, the people, not the the politicians, not the people who spend the money. Do they really want the A's here?
They absolutely want the A's.
Oh, don't say that.
They absolutely want the A's here. I think the best thing about it is they're making the smallest MLB stadium in the league.
Yeah.
Right? That place is going to be packed.
Right.
Compared to what the A's have seen over the last probably 20 years, the best thing they could do for themselves. And I'm sorry to the town, man. It ain't the town's fault. The town is they got some of the best fans. The whole Bay Area got some of the best fans in all of sports. But there is a conundrum of business people and the streets in Las Vegas that want to make this the sports capital of the world.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that the A's are going to get it. And I'm not an A's fan. I'm from LA. I'm Dodger Blue till I die. Get the mics, man. But at the end of the day, man, I'm happy for the city. I'm happy for the A's because look at the logo, man. That's history, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And they deserve a lot more than they got, and I think they're going to get it when they get here.
There you go.
You're going to be all stuff to the game, man. We're going to have a good time.
I'm coming with franchise sports media.
That's how you do it.
There you go. TQ, West Coast legend, owner, franchise sports media. Be sure to check out that website. He's photography, producing. I mean, you're gonna call plays on Sunday with Kyle. What's going on here?
What's the prediction? What's the prediction of the game before we let you go?
My prediction is a lot of running the ball. I think it's going to be a chess match between ball control because both teams want to keep the other offense off the field.
Right.
So I think it'll probably be 24-21.
Ooh,
Niners.
I like that.
Hey,
Like
lock it in.
Lock it in.
There you go, TQ.
I'm expecting Brock Purdy to have a big game.
MVP?
Yes. MVP.
Wow. There you go, TQ. Thank you so much, man. All the great things that you're doing. We will run into you soon and talk to you again. By the way, we got more love. Somebody says Bay Area got love for TQ. I'll play West Side later today.
Thank y'all so much.
That's for you.
Love the Bay.
There you go. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, more guests, more Niners, more Chiefs, more Kings, all thanks to Jiffy Lube.
The Sacramento Kings return home to host the Detroit Pistons.
Fox digs into the paint. He twists. He launches. He scores.
It's the Kings and Pistons.
Wednesday at 7 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Government Mule. Live in concert. 30 years strong tour. Friday, February 16th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Government Mule with special guest Lucas Nelson and POTR. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. New album, Peace Like a River, is in stores now. Don't miss Government Mule live. Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your road trip headquarters.
Thank you again to TQ. That was great stuff. The first Niners-Raiders fan that we've seen.
I think
so
ever.
now, and remember, I was giving E40 some
right.
grief for it, but if you can do things musically, I guess they'll allow it. Maybe I'll drop an album, then I can
you can do whatever you want. You can be a Warrior and Kings.
Exactly.
You can do a lot of flack.
Exactly. We're joined now by the predictors, Tyler Zajac, who doing some great things for the tech of NFL fields and just a great conversation. And how timely, I don't know if you saw this coming, we're calling it Grassgate with what happened with the Niners. Can you give us, and thank you for being on the show, thanks to Jiffy Lube, can you give us a breakdown of how you saw that? Should Niner fans be upset? Should Niners be upset? Should Kyle Shanahan be upset? What was your takeaway?
Well, first of all, calling it Grassgate is a little offensive as a Patriots fan.
Oh,
yeah, just all gates.
All the gates. You get all the gates.
But to answer your question, I would be. If I'm a 49ers fan, if I'm a 49ers player, if I'm a 49ers coach, everything that goes into this game, you're trying to be perfect, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this is the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
So you want everything to be perfect. And for you to be used to, I think it was 70 units of gravity, and the one that tested was 50 that's on the field. That's a big change for guys. And, that's something that they weren't expecting. It's a distraction. I mean, there's been distractions all around this Super Bowl for both teams.
Yeah.
But the 49ers have tried to keep it out of kind of their team. And this is something that hurts them. They're dealing with it. They don't have to change practice facilities. That's huge for them.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a whole catastrophe.
Logistical nightmare. Yeah.
And a bad look for the NFL, to be honest on that. But it's still kind of a bad look for the NFL. I would be upset, to answer your question. Yeah.
So I had heard the figure, it's in the 50s and supposed to be in the 70s. You said it's units of gravity.
Yeah. That's
Can you explain just kind of
calling it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're calling it. That's how they measure it. And yeah, it just has to do with the firmness versus softness of that field. And
what would a 50 feel like?
It's just a softer feel. It's more cushiony, more spongy.
Okay. It's almost like if you were to be running around in like muddy grass.
Yeah, probably not like straight up mud, but something like that, a lot softer. And it's when you look at these field turf debate, right? That's in the NFL.
Right.
It's a big thing now.
Yeah.
On safety, and that's why when they talk about grass is safer in all the articles and stuff that have been done,
better
if
for
it's
your
well
knees and all that,
maintained, right? So you have to make sure it's maintained well, and that's where the cost comes in, and
of
everything that nobody wants to pay for. But you have to keep it up to speculation or to specs there, not speculation, specs, and that's something that they're dealing with now, right? So
Yeah, talking to Tyler Zajac of the Predictors with great information on the tech of NFL fields and the playing conditions. I had a question, and maybe it's a simple answer of just money, but if I'm not mistaken, don't they play on a lot of turf in college? Why isn't this a bigger deal in college?
Well, I think that everything that happens in the NFL trickles down to college, right? So we see. So, they do play. I mean, there's also a lot more teams that you have to look through the data, cover.
Yeah.
It's a lot more out in the open in the NFL. There's injury reports. You know where they played when those injuries happen.
Right.
So if when you watch how things happen, everything, the NFL kind of makes the rules, and then college starts to do it.
Right.
Hell, even with paying players, right?
Right.
Literally everything. So I think if they get to the point where they do all grass, I don't think it will. I think they'll do an artificial kind of hybrid model would be my guess at the end of the day, especially for those places like Green Bay, those places like Buffalo, and then, down south, Miami, where you have these temperatures that are on very big ends of the spectrum there, and they have to harder to maintain. I think a hybrid model will be where they are. You also have to look at the technology as it's come, right? I mean, back when they were using AstroTurf and all this stuff, it's
concrete
guys,
underneath.
The technology's gotten so much better. So as it gets better, we may be able to say, oh, this hybrid is better than grass eventually. And you've seen all the articles come out on the grass or stuff. And you can make data look any way you want data to look. What you put in and what you take out. We're still seeing that grass is safer. All the history has said grass is safer. I know the NFL is saying that they're seeing some differences, but like the NFLPA said, you can't take 1 year. You also can't cherry pick what data you want to use, right? You want to use non-contact where, you're not taking in the player's cleat that gets caught underneath another player.
Right.
Well, that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
If I can't get my foot out and a player falls on it and you don't count that as an injury in your data, well, it was because of that turf. So there's a lot of things to look at.
And this isn't just the problem in football either, right? Like, isn't there a big debate in soccer? I know Lionel Messi was very particular about, I think he's only going to play on a certain grade of turf or something like that. And there was also big news about how the World Cup final is going to be at MetLife Stadium. So this isn't really just an American football problem.
Oh, not at all. And they're bringing in grass to a lot of these stadiums for the World Cup stuff now. I mean, these guys, you're talking about the top of the top of the best of the best, right?
Exactly.
It's like any sport that you guys playing at this level, they know their bodies better than anyone. They know the feel of the grass. They know, think about these guys that are able to, bring their feet together at the last second and score a touchdown. I mean, to know your whereabouts and know all of that and have that body control, I'm not doing it. Right. So, I mean, these guys know their bodies well, and they know the turf and they know the playing surface around them. And they feel different when they play on certain ones. And if they feel more comfortable playing on them, they feel better. They feel like they're going to be healthier and they stay healthier. Then in my mind, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
They're the ones that are getting all the viewers. We're coming in to see them play.
Right.
So do what's best for them.
There you go. Tyler Zajac of the Predictors breaking down and reporting tech for NFL fields and playing conditions. Be sure to read the Predictors, a cutting-edge sports data analyst and commentary platform, analysis and commentary platform. Tyler, thank you so much. And, because I played baseball and they were just starting to move baseball fields to all turf, and some players stopped wearing, because if there's no dirt on the field, they stopped wearing metal cleats. I'm not going to go into some of the horror stories about what happened, but there was a game where somebody said, I'm just going to wear my turf shoes, and it just didn't feel right, because there's not even dirt in the batter's box. It just feels odd to me. Yeah. It's not, I don't want to get off my lawn, no pun intended, but where's the dirt? Right? Where's the dirt?
It's a weird feel. The ball comes off the turf.
Yeah, that's true. It's faster.
It's a lot to
We need bad hops. We need some bad hops.
Yeah, right.
That's how you find out if somebody can field or not. Tyler Zajac, thank you so much. Be sure to read the Predictors, a cutting-edge sports data analysis and commentary platform. Tyler, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
No, I appreciate you guys having me.
All righty, got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing with the guests, continuing with the Niners and Chiefs talk, all thanks to Jiffy Lube, Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G, LTE, cellular, signal speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2020 Ford Half-Ton Silverado in stock. 2.9 for 72 plus. Great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try. Finance for GM.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
This time check is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at KiaVacaville.com.
Radio Row coverage from Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your road trip headquarters.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, just visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters. If you drove to Vegas, hit up Jiffy Lube, all right? That is what you need to do. Thank you again to the predictors. Tyler Zajac,
Yeah.
Be sure to read the predictors, a cutting-edge sports data analysis.
Crazy, man.
And commentary platform. Yeah, I mean, I told Chris, or Chris said to me, Chris, you said to me, we're talking about grass here.
For 10 minutes.
We're talking about legal grass here for 10 minutes. And that's how, that's how
crazy, man.
I guess impactful this whole thing is.
Yeah.
Did you see this? And I meant to say this joke to Tyler. Somebody said, oh yeah, let's take the most expensive ACLs and Achilles to MetLife. Just doesn't seem like a great idea.
Yeah, probably not.
Are they going to put a different type of turf on? You'd have to, right?
I hope so, man, because I there's, like you said, it's the most expensive. Like, we think our athletes make a lot of money. No. Kylian Mbappe is worth a lot of money. And if that man tears his ACL at MetLife Stadium or, pulls an Aaron Rodgers at MetLife Stadium, there's going to be some problems and they're going to hear it. Right? You think it's bad to hear American football fans, coming down your road. You do not want the global, national, all the entire world upset at MetLife Stadium for destroying soccer players' knees.
But do you think that's kind of on the World Cup? I mean, you got to do your research. Are you trying to say FIFA doesn't? Are you saying there might be a level of corruption and not
I'm
not
diligence
that.
in FIFA?
I'm not touching that.
What are you talking
but
about,
just,
Alan Stiles?
why? If you have to know that this is a thing. Did MetLife, did they talk them out of it? Hey, no, we're good. Trust us. What is that?
I have because I do know that there's different levels of turf. Like, there's grades to the levels of turf, and I'm assuming that they'll if they are going to have turf, I would assume, like you said, there'll be some sort of external field brought in. I can't imagine that they're going to use the game day field that the Jets and Giants use, but it's a problem because it's one of those things where we don't. It's crazy to talk about grass for 10 minutes with somebody, but it's incredibly important. Like, it's the surface that they're playing on, and it makes sense to. Yeah, I know grass is expensive to water and maintain and all that stuff, but the product, like, it's $1 billion organization, it's $1 billion company. I think it's worth the investment.
I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
I'm actually very scared for that World Cup, but we're hoping.
It could start a world war. Man.
Yes. I mean,
France is going to be like, y'all took Kylian Mbappe.
Right.
That's all we had. Project Mbappe is over.
It wasn't supposed to end like this. So hopefully MetLife gets it together. But yeah, that was a really interesting conversation. And you talk about covering everything within the course of 30 minutes. We go from TQ, okay, we go from talking to a West Coast music legend to talking to the predictors. Who knows what's next? And it's all thanks to Jiffy Lube. You know, I'm looking here, Chris, and I'm just trying to check here.
Yeah.
And this is from Michael Grange. Now, this is getting ridiculous now. And this is what kind of annoys me, all right? Because now we have, and he does web, TV, radio, Sportsnet for the Raptors. Getting into a little bit of basketball here as we have a brief respite from our guest.
Yes.
A mystery team
has
reportedly offered
gosh.
the Toronto Raptors a first-round pick for Bruce Brown. And this is NBA Central calling it a mystery team. What Michael Grange actually said was, according to a league source, the Raptors are asking for and have been offered a first-round pick for Brown, who is earning $22.5 million this season and has a team option on his deal for next season worth $23 million.
That's interesting. I mean, I think Bruce Brown's the kind of player that every contender should want to bring in. If you're asking me if the Kings should be in on that, I just don't know. I really like Bruce Brown, the player. I mean, obviously, you just have to watch what he did last year in Denver to understand how he can help winning. He's a true, how we talk about, or how I should say, talk about Alex Caruso and Dorian Finney-Smith and those guys. I mean, that's exactly what Bruce Brown brings. It's just you're paying, $22 million, and I believe it's a player option after this year. So you don't really have to worry about his contract, but that's the kind of guy where, if the league messes around and lets the Knicks get a guy like Bruce Brown, then that's really a problem. And so I think those are the kind of teams that are really going to be exploring for Bruce Brown. The Knicks, I would definitely look at. Feels like the Lakers, unfortunately, will probably be in on that, but also maybe the Clippers as well. I'm telling you, Bruce Brown's probably – I would bet Bruce Brown's probably the biggest name that gets moved. I think that's
where we're at.
I think that's the line at this point. I don't think
Bruce Brown a bigger name than Caruso to you, in your opinion?
I think so. Just because he won a championship last year, I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
They're about on the same plane, but Bruce Brown's making, like I said, $22 million. So I'll give him the nod over Caruso. But even then, I don't know what Chicago's going to do either. I saw they started our boy Drummond yesterday because Zach LaVine's going to be out for a long stretch of time.
They started
Vucevic and Drummond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think everyone outside of Chicago is very confused by the 1990s basketball that Chicago's going to try and play, but it's it's an interesting situation, and I don't know. I don't think that Chicago's going to get what they want for Caruso. So I'm going to say, I think Bruce Brown's going to be the big name that falls off.
What's up, Nate? You got that look on your face.
I got a story.
I know.
Okay.
So I spoke it into existence.
What do you have for us? Don't. This better be good, Nate.
I just ran to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
I walk in. The entire Pat McAfee crew is right there. I walked literally like what I said earlier, what we were talking about. Right there. Couldn't even make eye contact. It's almost like they were hiding in there.
What were you looking at?
Dude, head down, head down, head down.
Focus.
Head down, head down. That's it. I mean, I cannot believe it happened.
So you
it
didn't say
literally
anything.
happened.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't say anything.
Why didn't you say anything?
I said I wouldn't say anything.
Was AJ Hawk there?
I didn't. I saw McAfee. I saw the mullet guy. I saw the hat guy.
Do they travel in packs?
Dude, they were.
It should have been me.
No, I didn't even say, hey.
Did
Grace.
it look like they would be annoyed if you said something?
Dude, I'm not talking to them. Yes, probably.
No, you're just saying that because you didn't say something.
Dude, I'm not talking to some dude in the bathroom I don't know. That's not how I don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah. Anymore?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm an adult.
Missed opportunity from Nate. And you were so excited. You're so excited to come tell us this.
Well, I spoke it into existence. I told you beforehand.
Yeah,
I wouldn't talk to him in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It literally happened.
I don't recall that.
It's the wrong place.
Wrong place.
No, it's not. That was our own.
I don't know if there's going to be a better place, but
That's right.
It's the wrong place for sure.
All right.
It's tough.
That's what they said. You time it for when they leave.
Yes. Yeah.
You happen to wash
your hands long.
Hey, did you have 5 minutes?
I'm not going to get into details about what was going on in the bathroom.
Sure.
But I'm not timing anything out. I'm trying to do this show or something.
Amateur hour. It's day one. It's day one.
Is
he going to be here tomorrow?
They have an entire set, so
dude, they brought a movie set for the man.
They just start breaking it down now.
Yeah, I don't know if people fully understand, but these sets are.
Crazy.
We were talking about it. I think
let's give people a breakdown. So that you do have a couple slot machines, which I don't know if they're for show or not, but I
they're
think
just for show.
Because and better that way. I don't think anybody would partake. It'd probably be a bad look. Right. You have Cam Newton's bamboo situation.
Yeah, you got a vibe over there.
You have the Fox Radio. They have a really big one. Yeah, there's but that's like the Fox Radio. Pat McAfee has it's just him by himself.
It's just him. It's not ESPN.
No, it's.
It's
obviously ESPN.
All the signage is for Pat McAfee.
Probably the biggest one in here. Right next to it's NBC, and that's big, but it's not the same. But
there you go.
Yeah. So
all right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will be joined by Ronnie Lott, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Our Stiles and Watkins road trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For car maintenance from oil changes to tires and brakes, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Now back to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Special thanks to Jiffy Lube for making our road trip to Radio Row possible. Jiffy Lube, a proud sponsor of Sactown Sports. And we are joined by the one, the only Ronnie Lott, NFL Hall of Famer, 10-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, 4-time Super Bowl champ. Ronnie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, man. This is awesome. Talking to my folks in Sacramento, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, so many days of hanging in Sacramento, sitting there at some place in Rockland, going, man, it's out up here. I don't know if I can make it. This is going to be crazy. And I remember sitting there my rookie year. I end up coming in, and I'm like sitting there thinking to myself, holy smokes, it's really hot. And by the way, I had to sign late. I held out. And I remember coming into camp thinking, oh, man, these guys are going to kill me now. I mean, this is brutal. But Sacramento, I love it. It's been one of the greatest places in the world for a lot of reasons because of just so many things. And some guy named Kevin Johnson's not a bad guy.
That's right. That's right. Ronnie.
Sacramento loves you too, Ronnie.
Yes. Without a
Thank
doubt.
you.
Without a doubt. Tell us about the All-Stars Helping Kids Foundation.
All-Stars Helping Kids Foundation, man, we've been at this for like 30-something years, and it's been phenomenal. And it's really around taking leaders and trying to get leaders to understand that in the communities, there are so many people that they really want to start a nonprofit. The bigger question is, can you do it the right way? And so what we've done is we've figured out a system of how to not only do it the right way, but to actually give them the money so they can actually run it. And so we do that for 2 years, and then by that, we're able to get them over the hump. And now all of a sudden, they're running their organizations. They're making a difference in the community, and not only making a difference, but that's the kind of way of me saying, you know what, hey, not only do we want to give you the money, but we want to help you, and we want you to be able to kind of go over the hump. And some guy named Phil Oates, some guy Phil Oates, he helped us out a couple of times, and so we've been very fortunate to have partners like Phil and others that are in the Sacramento area that really understand what we've done in terms of trying to help these nonprofit leaders being able to grow and being able to run their organization.
No, that's awesome. I love that. And Ronnie, I see here you had a very interesting career. You talk about your rookie season. You won the Super Bowl your rookie year, and Nick Bosa went to the Super Bowl his rookie year. But do you feel like that kind of changes your expectations when you go into the league and then reach the pinnacle immediately? Like, does it almost feel like your second year, you're almost expecting that that's just how every year ends? Or did you have an understanding that this is really, really tough to even get to and have an appreciation for it in the moment?
Hey, man, look, I'm a Taco Bell guy, man. I'm greedy.
Oh, love it.
You know what? You're literally trying to get there every year.
Yeah.
And with our group and with the guys that we had, and look, I was very fortunate to be with Dwight Hicks and the Hot Licks and Eric Wright and Carlton Williamson and that group of guys. Man, we came in with the attitude of, hey, show us what you got. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter where we played you. Show us what you got. And we played against Dan South my rookie year. We played against some guy named Danny something from the Cowboys. So we beat them, and we had an incredible run. But the secondary really was led by George Seifert and Ray Rhodes, and both of those coaches went on to be head coaches in the NFL, and just so blessed to be able to have the right people coaching you early on, and they were just unbelievable coaches, but they were also coaches that were tough on us, and they just had moments of making sure that, hey, every day we're going to get better. We're going to find a way to get better, and every day that was the task of us just trying to get better. And so I would tell you, my rookie year was phenomenal for a lot of reasons, and I'm just thankful that the guys that I play with, man, we still get together. We have a DB reunion every year,
that's awesome.
And it's awesome, man.
Talking to Ronnie Lott, NFL Hall of Famer, 4-time Super Bowl champ. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now, Ronnie, we were going to get to this question, but a little earlier on in the season, right? If you're a Niners fan, you might have on some red and gold colored glasses. Joe Montana and Brock Purdy's name in the same conversation seemed crazy. Now, a couple weeks later, with what Brock Purdy has done, has the Niners at the pinnacle. They haven't won it yet. But Ronnie Lott, do you think it's even fair to compare the two? Do you see any similarities, or should we just let Brock exist? Because I can see why other non-Niner fans may say, "Hey, this is a little bit much," but we want to hear from you, who would know firsthand.
First of all, man, look, Joe Montana is the best quarterback ever. And so when I say that, people go, what about Tom Brady? Tom Brady won a lot of Super Bowls. He won a lot of Super Bowls because he was an incredible leader for that team. But I'm talking about the best quarterback. I'm talking about when you have, when it's that 3 seconds ago and you got to make that three-pointer and you got to pull it and you got to shoot it and you got to make it happen. My money is on Joe all day long. And the reason that it's on Joe all day long is because I played against him when I was at Notre Dame. I understand everything about that dude, man. And he's like a brother to me because the way he competes and the way that he goes after life is, he's like, hey, I'm all in. And that's what you got to be, all in. And so it's kind of hard to put those two in the same category, but I will say this. Brock and what he's done and what I love is that, man, he knows how to compete. And the question is competing and making great decisions. Those two things for a lot of people is really hard to compete and make a great decision. And so for Brock, if he can do it and make great decisions in this game and not turn the ball over and understand that, you know what, my game is really about me making great decisions. And he has. And that's what's remarkable is that he's been able to make great decisions. And that's what a quarterback is really about. When I think of great quarterbacks, the great quarterbacks that I know make great decisions and they protect the football. They do all the right things with the ball.
Ronnie, you talked about how connected your guys' secondary group was, and there's no Ronnie Lott on this current 49ers secondary, but when you're going against
they got a couple of guys. They got a couple of guys on there. They're pretty good.
They got some pretty good guys. I didn't mean it in any respect, only respect. But how are guys, the Ambry Thomas, the Amador Lenore, how are they going to try and slow down a Patrick Mahomes in a game where he's really, really comfortable in playing it?
Well, I think to me that's a big question, and the reason it's a big question is that you got to find ways to keep him off balance. You got to find ways to be able to play tight coverage. You got to find ways to not give up big plays. I mean, he loves when people are kind of scrambling and everybody's out of their lane and trying to. He likes that. I mean, that's where he really makes his money is when he's out scrambling. I mean, he's a point guard that's a really amazing point guard, and he can shoot it from anywhere. He can throw it from anywhere. He can do it all. So the discipline for this team is going out there and being able to find the guy that you have to have and stay with him. Find the guy that you have to have and stay with him. And I think that if they do that and they do it consistently in that secondary, I think they have an excellent shot at winning this football game because where he beats you is when you fall or trip or somebody's happened. And what is hard about covering guys like that is that it's when you can buy time, buying time is like, at a free throw line and you're sitting there and you got the shot, but sometimes you buy too much time and the guy chokes, right? But this guy does not choke. He's going to throw it and he's going to make it happen. And so you have to be able to sit there and understand who you're playing against and really being comfortable enough to know that he will have moments. He's a great player. He's going to have his moments. So what? Great. You got a couple of moments, but not a win. That's what and so I think they understand that, and I think the secondary will do a great job of not giving up big plays.
Ronnie, we got to ask you your Super Bowl prediction. Do the Niners get number 6, or does Patrick Mahomes do it again?
Hey, man, look, I've done everything to make sure that these guys find a way to win. And what I mean by that, man, you got to make sacrifices. And I think that they are making a sacrifice. I think they're doing everything they possibly can to win this game. And going into this game, yeah, I'm with the Niners, and I'm with them for a lot of reasons, because I just think that it's their time. I think it's something that when we saw the last couple of weeks and how that played out, I think it's just their time. And I think that for them, the bigger question is, man, do the things that you've done all year. Go out, play the game the way you're capable of playing the game, and find ways to impact the game in a way where you take it. And what I mean by take it is that there are going to be moments where the ball is in the air.
Small have Laura and Tori.
They will find a way.
She should. I told her to do it.
I'm going with the Niners big time. And I think that it's going to be a great game, but I think the Niners win.
Ronnie Lott, NFL Hall of Famer, 10-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, 4-time Super Bowl champ. Ronnie, thank you so much, and thanks for all the work that you're doing and letting us know about All-Stars Helping Kids Foundation. That is outstanding. Ronnie, thank you so much, and good luck to the Niners on Super Bowl Sunday.
Thanks, guys, man. Let's go. Let's go Niners.
All right. Thank you so much, Ronnie Lott. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we will hear from the one, the only Laura Britt of NBC Sports Bay Area. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic. Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one?
No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Boot Barn Work, we support those who rise in the early mornings and keep pushing through the long night shifts, because there are mouths to feed, homes to build, and a country to fuel. Those who mark their progress by the wear on their tools and the sweat dripping down their face. Every scuff on your boots represents your role in America's unrelenting workforce. Boot Barn Work, those who feed, build, and fuel the nation.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm
Are
them. Do not
here
take
with
Linzess if you
Laura
have a bowel
Britt,
blockage.
NBC
Get immediate
Sports.
help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine what
We
could relief
are
from
here
IBS-C
with
mean for
Laura
you.
Britt.
Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear.
And we are
With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
And we are here with Laura Britt, NBC Sports Bay Area. Joining us, Stiles and Watkins on the road from Vegas. Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance. Think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is the place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsor of Stiles and Watkins Radio Row Road Trip to Vegas. Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. This is great. And Radio Row Day 2, you really see an increase in people walking around.
Yeah.
So, we've been here since Monday. I don't know when you guys
we got in last night.
You got in last night.
Yeah.
So you start to see the slow trickle of people, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody starts to descend.
Yeah. Let's start here. All right. Obviously, NBC Sports Bay Area, but we know you know ball. You're not necessarily a homer, right? But with that being said, are you picking with your head or heart when it comes to Niners Chiefs? Do the Niners finally get number 6?
Well, there's a background story there. So
Okay.
I interned in news.
Okay.
And when I started my career, I started in sports and then also a morning show. So there's a distinct reason why I don't go homer. I have a true journalistic aspect about me that I really do to my core feel to just try to present facts to people and let them decide. So I guess I haven't gotten asked my pick yet.
Okay.
So will you guys be the first ones? I don't know yet.
Well, I'm asking.
Should I give my pick right now?
You can marinate on it.
I'm going to marinate on it because I know what it is. I just haven't decided if I'm ready to share
We got
yet.
the breaking news. We can get it going.
Let's
We can get the
go.
sounder
We'll
ready.
get it on the ticker. Who Laura picks to win the Super Bowl.
Speaking of breaking news, by the way, I was looking at your socials the other day, and I saw this is the first time you've been to Vegas?
First time ever. Literally. Land Monday, never been here. It's a wild
What are your
place.
thoughts? So, I mean, like, it's clearly a place like no other.
You know, my first thought is the buildings are really big.
Huge.
We've been walking. I don't know if anyone else has not been to Vegas. I'm sure all of your listeners probably have.
Sure,
I think I'm the only person on the planet that has yet to be in Vegas, especially being so close, like an hour flight from the Bay Area. Hey, I've got 3 kids. Okay,
Yeah,
people, I got 3 kids.
I gotcha.
The buildings are huge. We're walking miles and miles and miles.
Even just to get into Radio Row here, it's
Yes.
a marathon.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's really my first impression. I wore heels yesterday.
Oof,
We got
flats.
sneakers on today, baby.
That's right.
Sneakers on
Live
today.
and learn.
So if you haven't been to a Super Bowl, I know most people don't get the opportunity to come.
Mhm.
Very expensive to be able to take off work for a week. Who can do that?
Yeah.
So we're lucky to be here, but yeah, there's just a lot of walking involved. I will say over Miami, when the Niners went last time, we were down there in Miami. I do like the fact that you are able to walk places outside of the rain that's
Right.
happening in the desert, which I'm really
I
confused
don't
about.
know.
That's
I don't
very
know.
confusing.
I had to tell him to bring a coat. He had
Yeah,
no idea.
I was very upset.
It's very confusing. I didn't bring an umbrella, but I didn't think I would need one
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Las Vegas. But yeah, so in Miami, you had to, hop in an Uber. You're driving an
Right.
hour. You're driving 30 minutes. And here you're able to walk. It's just got to wear the sneakers. Pro tip.
Talking to Laura Britt, NBC Sports Bay Area. And don't forget, NBC Sports has you covered all week long with Niners coverage and pre and post after the big game, which the Niners may or may not win, according to Laura. We're still
May or may
trying to figure that out. Laura, let's pivot just a little bit to the Giants and everything that they have going on. They've made some moves in the offseason. I try Giants Twitter. If your blood pressure is like mine, you should probably stay off of it. How do you feel about what the Giants have done so far heading into this season, going up against I just don't want to compare the Giants to the Dodgers. Let's just put them in a different category and build whatever you got going on and go from there.
So Giants Twitter can be very sad sometimes.
Yes.
Especially this offseason when you see the Dodgers make so
Right.
many moves. I think what you have to do if you're a Giants fan is put everything in perspective. Did they try and get Shohei? Did they try and get Aaron Judge? Yes. Is that the team's fault?
Yeah.
Maybe. Some people want to put blame on the
Yeah.
team for not being able to land those stars. We heard some of the comments about what some free agents are saying about the city, whether you want to believe that or not. Maybe that's how they actually feel.
Yeah.
So you have to take that as well into consideration. I think the saying of the Giants don't want to spend money isn't accurate anymore. So 2 years ago, I think that's how a lot of Giants fans were feeling is why won't they spend money? Why won't they sign Kevin Gausman to a longer term deal? Why won't they lock down some of these players? But I don't think that's the case anymore. They have the money. They're willing to spend the money. It's about how do you land those free agents? And would you want a guy that doesn't want to be here? I don't think so. I don't think you want to. I mean, if it's Shohei Ohtani, maybe you want him even if he doesn't want to be here. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they've been able to attract these free agents. They have a loaded roster. The Giants did what they could. There are still big name free agents out there.
Right.
This has been a really weird
Super weird.
offseason. I definitely thought we kept hearing winter meetings. We're in Nashville. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Where is the hot stove?
There was no hot stove. It was
Yeah.
cold stove. It was a
Right.
freezer. It was a freezer this winter meeting. So we're all sitting around, and what you kept hearing is once that first domino falls, the other ones are going to start falling. And that is typically how it goes. Well, Shohei Ohtani signs, then you're waiting on Yamamoto. So you wait more weeks, then Yamamoto signs, and you keep waiting on these other guys. And granted, the big name free agents that are still out there, Scott Boras clients, as you guys know,
Yeah.
and he likes to play those. Good for him, good for his clients. You want that kind of representation if you're a player. But it is a bit strange to be 2 weeks away from spring training and guys haven't signed. Some
Right.
big name guys haven't signed. When are those signings going to happen? I don't know.
What happens first? We get Laura's pick for the Super Bowl, or Cody Bellinger comes to the Giants. You never know.
If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, will Cody Bellinger come to the
There
Giants?
you go. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how you attract free agents.
Exactly. Laura, going to the Super Bowl matchup, I mean, do you have a matchup that you're looking forward to the most, just seeing how it plays out?
Yeah, I think it's this Super Bowl compared to Super Bowl 54. There are so many changes on these two teams. The Chiefs were known for their offense, and the 49ers back in Super Bowl 54, and the 49ers, their defense, as we all know. I'm not quick to toss aside saying, like, oh, the Chiefs are all defense. They still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Right.
It feels very weird to me to be like, oh, it's the 49ers offense versus the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
Because you still have Nick Bosa.
Right.
You still have Fred Warner. You've got some big name players on the 49ers defense as well. So I think it does. It's a really good Super Bowl matchup.
It is. It really
what
is.
am I focusing in on the most? Probably to see Steve Wilkes, got some, I guess, not hate, but
some heat.
Some heat. Thank
you
you.
go.
Some
Yes.
heat after the Lions game.
Yeah.
And some of the decisions that he made, he took accountability
Yeah.
for that and said he wanted to clean that up. So there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be ready to make those calls. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are really good at ad-libbing. So how do you prepare for that?
Yeah.
It's good that the Niners have faced them before, and Kyle Shanahan has seen that. I'm sure Steve Wilkes has watched that game many times now and watched the film on the Chiefs. So I guess seeing the calls of what Kyle Shanahan's able to do with the offense and how the Chiefs defense does try and stop a guy that is Mr. Irrelevant. And his weapons are really the star of the show, with Christian McCaffrey being on the Niners now. So that is, yes, the big storyline.
Sure.
I'm kind of more interested in the flip side.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more interested in how the Niners defense handles Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Pacheco too. He's a threat. Let's see, the Niners, as far as rushing defense go, I think this is where some people aren't realizing how good in the regular season the Niners rushing defense was. They ranked third in all of the NFL. So yes, the Chiefs have an aspect of a run game, but the Niners have been able to stop that for the majority of the regular season.
Yeah, we're definitely headed towards the Niners defense being a little bit underrated based on their last couple performances, which isn't a bad thing. Joined by Laura Britt of NBC Sports Bay Area. Don't forget, NBC Sports has all of your Niners coverage all week long. Laura, okay, let's ask you it this way. Who is your favorite player on the Niners, or favorite player to watch on the Niners?
Oh, that's good.
That's a great question.
So that's kind of like a dual question, because
It
your
is.
favorite
It
like
is a dual-
personality doesn't have to be
Definitely.
I think
Absolutely.
so I've, as you guys know, and most of your listeners know, I've moved over to mainly covering the Giants now, but I was ingrained in the Niners
deep.
for a long time. And I think it's hard not to love George Kittle, especially as a member of the media. You want a guy that's fun, is having fun, is not scared to answer questions. He really is that person. Some guys are different on TV than they are behind the scenes. George Kittle's just a really genuinely like happy guy. And I'm sure in all those mic'd up segments that we've seen after the line, like he's in the middle of a really intense moment and he's joking around, but not, he's not serious about his game, as everybody knows. So I think there's like a fine line that he's been able to walk there. So as far as just personality wise, I got to go with George Kittle. And then I'm a little split on, I love Trent Williams.
Okay.
I really like Trent Williams. And I love that he's in a Super Bowl for the first time in his career. The level that he's played at for so long. I know the popular answer is probably Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa. But I really appreciate his dedication to the game. And it's a spot where you don't get a lot of glory. And he's been a huge difference maker for the 49ers. I think he's a big reason why they're here right now. So Trent Williams is one of my favorite players, just athletically and what he does on the field.
Not very often you hear an offensive lineman be somebody's favorite player, but Trent, if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Trent.
Swag.
He's got swag.
All the swag
through
in the
the
world.
roof.
Here's the thing about that. This is a large man. That stuff, you're not going to the store to buy that. This is there's a lot of dedication also to the outfits.
Special orders.
Tailoring, yes.
That's time.
Yes.
That's not just big and tall shop. No.
And appreciation for that too.
So, favorite player, Trent Williams. Most exciting player,
George Kittle.
George Kittle. All right.
Laura, I want to ask everybody this, but I feel like it could get just dangerous and it could end up taking the entire interview. Brock Purdy, overrated, underrated, properly rated. Where would you say you feel like he is?
I think he's underrated. The game manager thing that he's been moniker, I guess, that he's been deemed with all season. Yeah, maybe the first 4 games you can say that and get away with that. To take your team to a Super Bowl, and many would say, well, it's not Brock Purdy that did it. It's Christian McCaffrey. It's other players. It's a team sport, and I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a game manager quarterback that can go out and win a Super Bowl. He hasn't done that yet. To make it to this level, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to get that criticism. And the great thing about Brock Purdy, he's a level-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's not listening to this. And I mean, even if he is, he knows who he is. He's a Christian. He's made that clear. And his, foundation isn't from what people say about him.
Right.
It comes from somewhere else. And I think having that mentality is a big advantage for him.
Yeah.
But I definitely think he's been underrated. Every player has an aspect of their game that they have to work on. Not everybody's going to be perfect every game. To go pick apart because he has one really bad game, to say that the Niners were down in these past 2 games and that's Brock Purdy's fault, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, yeah, we played that Bosa audio. I don't know if you heard it, of them in the locker room and Bosa asking him, how are you so confident, man? I was the number 2 pick in the draft. Even I'm defensive player of the year. Even I've doubted myself. How do you stay so composed? And he's just just play ball, man. It's just his moxie is insane to me.
It is.
Yeah. Laura Britt, thank you so much. And
This
that was
is
just
fun.
beautifully said. But you're not getting away that fast. We need your Super Bowl pick, and we need it now.
So I don't want people to get upset with me. But I will say, when you have a team like the Chiefs that have been to 4 Super Bowls in the past 5 years, they've been to 6 consecutive AFC championship games, and an MVP in Patrick Mahomes. I do think, and I would do the same thing with Tom Brady and the Patriots when they were reigning supreme for so long. Until they've been beaten, I'm going to go with their history of success, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win in Super Bowl 58. I think the Niners have a really good shot at it too, so I know that's not fun to be kind of both teams.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a really good game. The Niners cannot fall behind, as many people know, like they did against the Packers, like they did against the Lions. I don't think you can get away with that against the Chiefs. I think that the Niners have probably studied all of that film very intensely over the past couple weeks. But the reigning Super Bowl champs, it's hard to go against them when they've seen success, not across 1 year, not across 2 years, across 6 seasons.
Right.
It's hard to go against the Chiefs.
There you go. Laura Britt, thank you so much. NBC Sports Bay Area. Don't forget, NBC Sports has you Super Bowl coverage all week long and pre and post after the big game, which maybe Laura will be wrong, and the Niners are
a win-win, though.
Laura, we know you're doing your thing on NBC Sports Bay Area. You're over here, so if you are trying to keep your pick secret, we won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody.
Can we all keep this a secret?
We will keep it on the low. We will keep it on the low.
Hey, this has been so fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Laura. We will talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All righty, got to get to a break. We will be right back with Stiles and Watkins on the road in Las Vegas, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Sactown Sports is sending Stiles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.
Road trip!
Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Stiles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
They beat the Niners.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows.
We
the
are
Michael
here.
Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Man, two-time Super Bowl champ
Sports is
with the
your home
Ravens and
for
the
San
Eagles, but he's
Francisco
picking the
49ers
Niners to
football.
get it done. Torrey Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of
Hi,
the time in
I'm
Vegas.
Henry
Appreciate y'all having me.
My eyes
We'll
are
be
very
right back
important
with
to
more
me.
Stiles
My
and
eyes
Watkins
connect
in
me
Vegas,
with
brought
things
to you
I
by
love.
Jiffy Lube.
I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age.
We are here, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins. Sactown Sports Road Trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters, joined by Torrey Smith, former 49ers wide receiver, former Ravens wide receiver, two-time Super Bowl champ, former Eagles wide receiver. Torrey, thank you for joining us.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me.
Man, so let's just start here. You played with the Ravens when they beat the Niners.
Yeah.
Is this finally the year that the Niners break through and get number 6?
Man, I believe so. I think the talent's there. I think the culture's there. They're battle tested, right? They've been here before. And I think it's just time. I think Brock Purdy's a guy that can help lead this team to victory. I think they have a great balance on the offensive side of the ball and what C-Mac can do, and so many different playmakers over there. So I think at the end of the day, if they can protect the football on offense, establish their run game, because the Chiefs, their weakness really is the run game. The Ravens didn't stick to that, but that's one of their biggest weaknesses. If they can get that going, I think some great things can happen for them. If they can also lead us out, you got to be able to get to Patrick Mahomes without blitzing.
Yeah.
So you're going to need a big game out of those front four to go out there and get it done.
Torrey, you played in San Francisco, actually, the 2 years before Shanahan got there. How can you speak to just the different culture that it seems like he's brought there, and just how different things seem to be now than they were when you were there?
Oh, man, it's amazing for him. I mean, I was one of the first people kicked out. So, to see what's happening with the new regime, it took them some time to get it right.
Yeah.
But they're one of the best organizations in ball. And I think they deserve their flowers. I think Jed York deserves his. I gave him his flowers earlier because I remember, and I know y'all probably were talking about him on this same radio station. He doesn't know what he's doing. We got to get somebody else. But the reality of it is he's built a product that's among the best in the league. And year in, year out, we all know fans want to win a Super Bowl each and every year. But year in, year out, when this season starts, the 49ers stand a chance. And that's all you can ask for. And I think they've done a great job. And Coach Shanahan and John Lynch, their partnership together, leadership-wise, I think they've done an excellent job. And again, when you mention the top organizations, it doesn't matter that they haven't won a Super Bowl in some time, right? When you talk about the top organizations in terms of their team standing a chance, they're amongst the top 3. And I think this is the year they get over the hump.
Talking to Torrey Smith, two-time Super Bowl champ, wide receiver for the Ravens, the Niners, and the Eagles. So, Torrey, when you talk about Brock Purdy, and a lot of people likened it last year to Jeremy Lin, is he just on a hot streak? You played with a guy, not to take anything away from Nick Foles, but that was a guy that got really hot, right? He's a good quarterback, but he played out of his mind. How can you differentiate a hot quarterback from somebody like Brock Purdy possibly making his way into the elite category?
Man, he's been consistent, right? I'm looking, my guy Cam is right behind us. Right?
Can't miss him.
I grabbed a selfie with him earlier.
That's my brother right there. But the reality of it is he's kind of been unfairly criticized.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's proven that you can win because he's your quarterback.
Right.
And when you go and you look at who's won the Super Bowl over the last 12 years, most of the faces are Tom Brady anyway, right? So what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Right? There are very few guys that actually win it. So if you're going to punish him for not winning it, like it's about, can you win because he's your guy? Do you stand a chance? Right? That's what everyone's hope is. And Brock Purdy is that guy. He's been very consistent managing this team, playing his role, making plays when they need him. He made plays with his feet last week, right? Turned from a game manager to a game changer, right?
Yeah.
But I think he's shown that he can do that, and he's their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think the 49ers know that. And, I think the fans need to get all the way on board with it as well, because I talked about it before. People like to think that a franchise quarterback has to look one way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. You put a great team around him. Why are you punishing him for what we wish every quarterback had? Real weapons, right? A running game, a great coordinator, right? A solid offensive line, right? They can be a little better, but they have some solid pieces up front. He has what most quarterbacks go. So now you have fans criticizing, well, any quarterback can be in that system and do well. Well, they aren't.
Yeah.
And he is. So you have a guy that can go out there and get it done. Keep it there, because you've seen how it looks when you're playing musical chairs. Clearly, if it was that easy, everyone could do it, and it's not. So give that man his respect.
Do you think that a Super Bowl changes any of that conversation, or do you think it's always going to be there with
It
him?
changes it for a moment.
Yeah.
Right? It changes it for a moment, and at the end of the day, who cares?
Right.
Right? Who cares? He's going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to speak it into existence because I want it to happen, right?
Love it.
He's going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to be making a lot more than $800,000 coming here soon, right? Which changes the GM's got to work a little bit harder with the salary cap once that happens, right? And draft-wise, it changes. But the reality of it is this 49ers team is built to win, and it helps when you have a cheap quarterback, right? But he's their franchise guy, right? And it's going to happen.
Talking to Torrey Smith, two-time Super Bowl champ, played for the Eagles, the Niners, the Ravens. Torrey, you were a wide receiver in this league, right? And when I was coming up, when Chris and I were coming up, there were the Megatrons and these big dudes. Do you see an evolution of the wide receiver with some of these smaller, quicker guys that don't always have to play in the slot like they traditionally had to? Or has it always been there and it's just the schemes that are changing?
Yeah, I think it's kind of always been there. The generic receiver probably is built more like me, like in that 6'1", 6'2" type area. Flirting around 200 or, give or take around there. I mean, you think of the top guys in the game, just rambling off the top of my head, Devontae Adams, give Ayuk his respect, right? Put him up there in that top 10, right? Give him his respect. Like those guys are more so in that 6'1", 6'2" range. But I think the difference you're seeing is receivers are going to be better and better every year.
Yeah.
Right? Better than our GOATs.
Yeah.
Right? And old heads hate when I say that, but it's the truth. It's because you're watching kids now that played 7-on-7, right? Our GOATs were better from playing outside.
Right.
They weren't everyone knows a trainer these days, right? These kids are different. And I'm only going by because I coach in the youth space. I have my own 7-on-7 team, and I'm watching quarterbacks make throws and reads, and terminology that I didn't learn until I got to Maryland, right? So like, the development and stuff is going to be a lot further. Now, my son's 9 years old. That joker can read the coverage at receiver. He give you press release. He can tell you what they're doing, what he has to like. It's just completely different. Yeah. So I think receivers, they're all going to be more dynamic because of the type of training that exists and because of what people know. And our old heads have to accept it. Maybe Jerry Rice's records are never going to be broken because they're a longevity stat, but there's going to continue to be receivers that are more talented receivers than our GOATs from the past.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, just as a part of being a receiver and the evolution of the receiver position is the pay of the receivers. I mean, you're seeing receiver contracts being thrown out that look insane.
Man.
And a part of it, too, is the running backs feel like they're being devalued. So just how does that work is it just kind of it's how it goes with times? How do you kind of view that conversation with running backs kind of be devalued, but receivers seem to be at a premium?
I mean, it's just the business, I mean, I wish one of y'all had a time machine push me back 10 years, man.
Right.
I mean, you got to think. I was at high end number 2 money at $8 million. If you're a starter, you're in double digits.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think so. It's crazy, but it goes to show, when it comes to this position, that just when the salary is relative to the business of football.
Right.
So you see these high salaries, it lets you know the sport is growing. The sport is thriving, right? And I think that's the part that's kind of hard to put in because I think about even being in San Francisco, one of the best parts about it was seeing all these legends that come back and they're around all the time. And there are some that I truly admire, like Joe Montana. I think of Ronnie Lott. These guys were, and people don't know this, like they were transformative in what they did off the field.
Yeah.
So you know them for their players, but they weren't making the millions like these guys were making now. And they make a whole lot of money now by their investments and things like that. But they weren't doing that. And so I think what you're able to see with the money, like what I was getting to was like you got the old school guys. They're like, oh man, these guys making all this money. We didn't do that. Well, the game wasn't as popular. The TV deals weren't the same. So it's just a byproduct of the business, man. And I love it because each and every time someone gets paid, you're watching an entire family that's going to be able to transform in terms of generational wealth if they take care of business. And I really love that for the guys.
Yeah. Torrey Smith, thank you so much for joining us, man. 2-time Super Bowl champ with the Ravens and the Eagles, but he's picking the Niners to get it done. Torrey Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your time in Vegas.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me.
We'll be right back with more Stiles and Watkins in Vegas, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Stiles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.
Road trip!
Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Stiles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Now is your chance to experience legendary Toyota reliability on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big with the best deals of the year. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new 2024 Grand Highlander gas model. Don't miss these President's Day deals and more. Get to your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credits. New time returns 3/4/24.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2020 Ford half-ton Silverado in stock. 2.9 for 72 plus great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
Finance with GM. It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Draper, your boy Drapes, once again, for the fine people of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I know you hear me raving all the time about my new EQS SUV they outfitted me with. It's the most stunning vehicle I've ever driven, hands down, no questions. I got news for you, though. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton also has a full-service commercial fleet center. So if you run a business, head on down there right now. They have a huge selection of rugged Mercedes cargo vans, and interest rates are as low as 4.9% on 2023 model year vans. Outfitting your company with Mercedes vans is just smart business. And get this, you can also get substantial IRS tax breaks on your new Sprinter van. Of course, some restrictions apply. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is such an elegant car or van shopping experience. Every customer is a VIP. They'll treat you that way as well. It's right there in North Stockton, right off of I-5, a half-hour drive from Sacramento, or, of course, online at mbfstockton.com.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Vegas to cover the big game is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Radio Row coverage from Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your road trip headquarters.
Town Sports road trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, visit Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters. Stiles and Watkins taking up to 2 p.m. We are joined by the one, the only Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, current analyst for VSiN, host of the GM Shuffle Pod. New book out, Football Done Right, setting the record straight on the coaches, players, and history of the NFL. Michael, thank you for taking the time. So I want to start here with the front office GM aspect of this, right? So when you talk about Brock Purdy, everybody talks about how inexpensive he is, relatively speaking. The importance of the Niners to win the Super Bowl with Brock on this rookie deal, and they still have him next season on the rookie deal. How important is it, or do you think it's a bit overblown? I get really confused. Sometimes it's, oh, well, they have to do it now, or they're not going to be able to pay Ayuk. Then somebody comes out and says, actually, if you look at the numbers, they can keep everybody. How important is it for the Niners to get a win with Brock on this rookie deal?
Well, I think it's important to get a win regardless of the rookie deal. I think we make way too much of that. I think, you've got to do a better job of drafting. In 2002, when you go back and look at that 2002 draft, if they don't hit with Purdy in the 7th, that's a washout draft for them.
Yeah.
And so when you've got a good team, you can't have these washout drafts. Drake Jackson hasn't really been effective for them. And so they cut the running back that they picked already in that draft. So I think that's more than anything. Because, look, you want to pay your good players, right? You want to pay guys that play for you. And so you're trying to keep that, especially at positions that you can't find in the open market. Football's a game now where the contract and the player are two separate conversations, but they both are equal value. So if you pay a player X and you could get a similar player for Y, you've hurt your cap. And that has nothing to do with Brock Purdy's rookie contract. So it really comes down to valuing and understanding the value of contracts, and you can't overpay. You just got to be able to say no, and you got to have a farm system for players to develop.
What have you thought about John Lynch in the Niners organization's approach to how aggressively they've built out that defensive line? I mean, they shelled out tons of money for Nick Bosa this season and bringing in Randy Gregory in the middle of the year, bringing in Chase Young in the middle of the year, signing Javon Hargrave in the offseason. What have you just thought about that approach to building out that defense?
I think it's Kyle's philosophy, right? I'm not trying to minimize John.
Yeah.
But Kyle runs the organization.
That's what they say, yeah.
Kyle's got in his contract to run the organization. He would have, and so John works for Kyle, which is great. But to me, why are they successful? They're successful because they have said, above all, we believe in a defensive line. And that's what wins games. all this talk about coverage, all this talk about, corners and line. No, none of that matters unless we get a great defensive line. And I think that's really good. The Eagles last year, 60 of their 70 sacks came from the front.
Yeah.
Why are we concerned about the 49ers that going into the Super Bowl? Because their D-line hasn't played good.
Not at all.
Right? That's the whole problem with them. As you're sitting there saying you got Hargrave making $20 million, you got Armstead making $20 million, you got Bosa making $30, you got Chase Young as second pick overall in the draft. When are these guys going to show up? Gregory's got on a real big contract. That's the key to football, right? Look, football is a real simple game. If we went out back and played touch, and I said to you, 3 Mississippi's the game, nobody gets open.
Yeah.
If I said 5 Mississippi, everybody gets open.
Right.
That's football.
That's interesting. Yeah.
That's football. And that's what the Niners are doing. They're trying to play a 3 Mississippi game. And that's how you win. And I think that's what they should be commended for.
Talking to Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, current analyst for VSiN, host of the GM Shuffle Pod. Be sure to check out his new book, Football Done Right, setting the record straight on the coaches, players, and history of the NFL. I know you're not, a Niners guy, but if you were to guess whether or not Brandon Ayuk, just based on that situation, is on the roster next season, what do you think?
Oh, I think he is because, look, when you play the Niners, right, so let's work backwards here. You play the Niners, you've got to be able to take away the middle of the field, okay? So Kyle wants to throw the ball between the numbers, the numbers that line the sidelines. Inside there, that's his passing game in there. And when the defense forces you to throw the ball outside, which is what Spagnuolo is going to do, you better have a really good player on the outside who can win one-on-one matchups. Like the first third down against the Detroit Lions where he throws it out for 3rd and 10, it's a completion. So, I say this, if it gets ridiculous, then it's going to be hard and you're going to have to replace them.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers have done a great job of saying, look, we love DeForest Buckner. We think Armstead's better. We'll trade him for a first-round pick, and we'll pick another player to replace him. Now, Greenlaw hasn't been as good as Buckner. We get that. But I think that's the way you have to work the cap. Here's what you can't do in the cap. You can't fall in love.
Right.
You can't fall in love. But they know they need an outside receiver. But if it gets too expensive and it becomes too rich, they got to find their own. They got to find another answer.
Yeah.
I know you worked closely with Al Davis for a long time. Being here in Vegas, what do you think Al would think of all of this? And of course, the Niners and the Chiefs being the two teams in it, I'm sure he would be thrilled at. Yeah,
he would never have the Chiefs in his building.
Yeah,
that would be the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What people don't understand, I wrote about this in my book, Football Done Right. So back in the day, in the AFL, this is before you two were even born.
Yes.
So the AFL and the NFL were competing for players, and the college players, they said, was fair game. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to spend, it's fair game. We'll compete against each other. The pro players whose contracts were out, now there was no free agency at the time. If the pro team, whether it was an AFL pro team or an NFL pro team, wanted their player back, the other league couldn't compete for him. So what happened was Pete Gogolak, the kicker, was with the Giants. The Giants wanted him back. The Buffalo Bills signed Gogolak, and they broke the golden rule. And that started the war. Okay, and Al Davis signed John Brody. He signed Roman Gabriel to these long contracts for future years. And what he didn't know at the time when he was doing this is Lamar Hunt, Clark's father, and Tex Schramm are in the Dallas Love Field parking lot negotiating the settlement for the AFL and NFL.
Jeez.
And that settlement comes out, and that infuriated Al. And so there is a passion against the Chiefs on the field, but there's a deeper one off the field because he was misled. He was embarrassed. He was the commissioner of the league, and he didn't know they were settling.
Yeah.
He didn't want to settle.
Right.
He didn't want to settle. He told me many times, I rented an office on Park Avenue.
Yeah.
I wanted to let him know I was there.
Yeah.
He wanted to put fear in him.
Yeah.
And so that adds fuel to the fire. But of course, the league office doesn't know this, so they put the Chiefs in his place. Like the Chiefs would have been at UNLV, trust me.
I see. So did you see the clip of Mark Davis? And he was being sarcastic, but he did such a good job, if you will, that a lot of people didn't think he was. And he said, my two favorite teams are in here, the Niners and the Chiefs. And Raider fans were actually upset because they couldn't tell that he was being sarcastic.
Well, look, Al has history in both teams, right? So the Chief, I told you about that. the 49ers, when they were for sale, Al brokered the sale to the Barlow family. Al was instrumental in that sale. He actually got $1 million finder's fees for making that sale. So he brought Mr. DeBarlow, Eddie Sr., Mr. Barlow Sr. into the group with the family that owned the 49ers at the time, and he made the deal happen. And then, of course, he got a finder's fee. So what Mark says, there probably is a little bit of love from his dad across the bay.
Right.
And Coach Walsh, worked at the Raiders, and he told me as I drove him around in a car that most football he ever learned was working for Al. So there is some, but this game really is a tribute to Coach Walsh, because when you look at both uniforms, you look at both offenses, you look at both organizational structures, it all comes from Walsh.
Yeah.
Everything. How the coach runs the team, how they practice, what they do, that's Walsh. And we should honor him for that.
Yeah. Michael Lombardi, thank you so much for joining us. But before we let you go, we need a pick.
I'm going to go with the Niners 27-23. Look, I'm wearing my first ring that I ever got.
I see that.
I'm rooting for the Niners. I like Kyle. I love Andy too. But I know it's just everybody. It's too easy to say, well, they have Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
It's just too. To me, the Niners better play better on defense. They better show up. If they don't, it'll be a whooping.
Thank you so much, Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, current analyst for VSiN, host of the GM Shuffle Pod. Go get his new book, Football Done Right, setting the record straight on the coaches, players, and the history of the NFL. Got to take a break. When we get back, more Stiles and Watkins in Vegas, thanks to Jiffy Lube, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs, like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Our Stiles and Watkins road trip to Radio Row in Las Vegas is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For car maintenance from oil changes to tires and brakes, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Now back to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Thank you to Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM, current analyst for VSiN, host of the GM Shuffle Pod. Go check out his book, Football Done Right. And we got to talk to Michael Lombardi, all thanks to Jiffy Lube.
Oh, yeah.
Oil changes, tire rotations, your overall car maintenance, think Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube is the place to take your car for your next road trip. Jiffy Lube, proud sponsor of Stiles and Watkins Radio Row road trip to Las Vegas. There were some great stories from Michael Lombardi about the Raiders.
We went to
and
school
history.
for a second there, yeah.
No, he did take us to school.
Let me tell you something.
You know what? He was not playing. You know, Al Davis would not have the Chiefs.
That's
in.
crazy.
That's real.
It's very Al. That's the most Al Davis thing possible, and he's completely right. There is no way Al Davis would allow them to practice in their facility. I don't know how he would have done it. I don't know how he would have told them. I could see him quite literally standing in front of the facility and saying, "You're quite literally going to have to get through me if you want the Chiefs to be playing in this building."
So, Chris, all right.
We've made it, man.
I was going to say, honestly,
no one told me.
We had, Simone doing a great job for us. She just said what time we were out, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting. We've been moving things around." Then I realized, it's 2:00.
Yeah, it's like the show is
2:00. So, yeah, Chris, day one Radio Row in the books.
What a blur.
How you feeling?
Still feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah, still feeling good.
Okay.
I did poke myself. I started bleeding.
Yeah, battle wounds here.
Blood, sweat.
Jay,
I
seen it.
Man.
Jay, how you feeling? Day one. Look, Jay, we were the young Padawans here.
No.
You brought us.
He Yoda'd us.
Okay, you Yoda'd us. We've been doing it up. How you doing?
Y'all been rocking and rolling as we joined by another guest. But no, I appreciate, and let's just say that, let me tell this right now, Nate, Simone, somebody that's being back, we're going to push this a little bit down the road. So let's break at least 10 minutes here because we got Stevie Johnson, of course, former 49er. But no, you guys have been on point, man. You guys have been on point. We'll talk about that as we got a guest.
Yes, there you go. And it's a fluid situation, and that's what we love. Joined by Stevie Johnson, wide receiver. Buffalo, I thought I'm not even going to talk about being home, knowing that you played in Buffalo for all these years. We are so excited to have you in a Bay Area dude. Okay, thanks for taking the time, man.
Rodriguez.
That's right.
That's right.
Shout out Fairfield. That's right. So let's start here. The wide receiver market, it seems like it's been crazy. And I think it's a bit interesting because on one hand, these dudes are starting to get paid, right? But on the other hand, look at somebody like Marvin Harrison Jr. Doesn't it feel like even though wide receivers are getting paid, there are more wide receivers coming out each and every year? The jump from the college to the NFL isn't as wide, so you got to pay guys. But aren't some teams also going to think, we could maybe find a guy too?
And that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing for the players, I would say. And it's a testament to the academies. It's a testament to the coaches that's getting these guys before they get to the league, you know, and they're able to do the things and show the skill sets that they have. So you can, as a manager in the league, you can definitely say, I'm not going to pay this guy and go find something for less. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the business. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to get an opportunity when you got a skill set like these guys are having coming into this league now.
So let me ask you this. We were just talking with Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM. That same thing you just said. You were the Niners. You know their situation. Do you pay Ayuk, or do you try to think that maybe you can find somebody? Is he nice enough that you got to pay him?
Yeah, me, I like to keep what I have, what I know I have. He's proven himself. He's shown it. As a cheap person, let's get rid of him and go get something else. But I think we're building something. I think we've seen it in being in the Bay with the Warriors. They had the four. What's our center name?
Looney?
Yeah, Looney. Yeah.
We don't talk about Looney here.
So look, me, I'm a California guy, so I like him.
You're good. There you go.
But yeah, we've seen what it produced. Sometimes you go through your battles, and but it produced championships. And this guy Ayuk, this is his second appearance in a championship. I think he's proven himself, so definitely pay him just because of the work that he's done and just to keep that chemistry within the locker room.
Yeah. No, you were talking about the academies and 7-on-7s and things like that. How just in the time since you were coming up in football, how much has that all the landscape changed of just getting into, high school, college, like all that stuff? There's so much work that happens even before you get there.
Precisely. It's a lot of work, and it's good. I love to see it. I love to see all the academies that's going on because it's equipping these kids to be prepared to make money, or to be in a position to have an opportunity to make money. What I've done with my family is we've created a nonprofit to where we're teaching the kids the other things more than sports.
Right.
Because we know there's like when I was coming up, there wasn't as many camps like that. It's probably one Nike camp that you would go to, but that was it. There was no 7-on like traveling team and this and that. But these kids I don't want them to get lost in just the game and learning the games. I want them to learn what we teach is the main three things is culinary, learning how to make food for yourself.
Yeah, that's huge.
Man,
Come on.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Because, growing up, or not growing up, I would say going through my ranks to get to the league, I was in college buying food, you know what I mean? Wasting money, basically.
Banging that per diem out.
I was right there with you. As opposed to getting learning to use a crock pot, making food that can last long, getting a rice
Foreman grill.
That's
good. Come on now.
That's right. Yeah, that was stuff that I had to learn through the misses, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a lot of kids don't have that.
No.
So what we did was we set up little mini destinations, symposiums, and we provide that outlet.
That's awesome.
We provide banking, not banking, but we provide a situation where guys can go into the bank. We partner with a lot of these things.
Some financial literacy.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
And not being afraid to say, hey, what's up to the teller, or, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Be in that environment, just as simple as that. And then the last one is communication. Putting different people in the house with each other for a week, teaching them like, hey, you got to learn to communicate with this guy because it'll be a smoother road for you. Most likely you'll learn something as opposed to being how I was. I was just more isolated. Like I'm more private. I wasn't as open as I am now. I always felt like, all right, I don't need no help. I won't ask for help. I'll just figure it out myself and I'll do it. I won't bother nobody. But it's some type of humility in asking those questions, asking for help. You know what I'm saying? And it's helping it. So, I just try to expose that part through our nonprofit called Exposure Academy.
Stevie, man, one of the things that that always I've been impressed by you, man, is your intellect when it comes to outside of football. And I think that's what we're talking about here.
Indeed.
But it's always kind of impressed me, man, for the short time that I've known you personally, but also just watching you afar and coming from where we come from, man, speak to that. Because one of the things I dislike, and maybe you guys can agree with me, is I hate when people say, you're articulate or you
sound so good.
Don't start.
I don't mean that. But I say that in the fact that because where we come from, you've always made sure and handled that part of your job outside of football.
Yeah, and it comes to lessons, losses, quote unquote.
Of course.
But those losses were lessons for me.
Right.
I wasn't as articulate. I wasn't out there in the community like I am now. But what got me out there even more is because I felt like that was my passion. I felt like it was a passion. But when I hit roadblocks, I didn't stop. You got to figure out a way. And I feel like that's funny. I just said that. So I got a children's book called "There's Always a Way" with Stevie J, and that's awesome. That's basically what it is. Like there's always a way to get better in the situation instead of just tapping out and changing or pivoting. You know,
Right.
I'm not knocking people for transferring or pivoting to another thing, but I think some people, they give up too early, you know, and go through that fire. That's all I like to say in my academy. I like to put the student athletes through the fire. I throw them in the fire early, whether it's sports wise, or if this kid don't talk a lot, I'm gonna connect him with this dude that talks a lot. You know what I mean? Just so he can have just a spark of what it's like. Because later on, he's going to run into a situation like this, as we all have, as I did. You know what I'm saying? It's it is what it is. You know, so it's just about preparation and learning from those lessons, man. That's what got me to, you know, be as intellectual as I am with this journey that I'm on. You know, as a retired athlete, trying to teach student athletes and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about when you're growing up. If you're around a bunch of people that are just like you don't know what to do when you're put in a different situation.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're making sure that these kids know how to handle that early, that's just beautiful, man. Talking to Stevie Johnson, who played in the league, NFL, wide receiver, veteran. Stevie, before we get to your pick for the game, gotta ask, man, the Bills. I mean, you talk about hitting a wall. What do they do? I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do.
I'm proud of them boys. It was everybody knows when you start with the season, everybody loving it. You got Josh Allen, Madden cover, all that. So we got a lot of attention. Then they hit a wall, and then we end up winning 6 straight. You know what I'm saying? Which is really good. We ran into this Chief team. I mean, Mahomes and Kelsey they automatic, man. They automatic. You can't knock them. You got to be different in order to stop them.
Yeah.
If you want to be regular or be fair, it's gonna be a loss for you. You know. So, yeah, man. The Bills ran into those Chiefs, and you know, I felt like it was a missing space creator. That's what I think. That's what'll get us over the hump. I think with the team that we got now, and we can add a space creator like Keenan Allen. I know it's okay. I'm in fantasy world. You know, it may not happen. With salary cap, the myth of salary cap. But man, make that happen if they really want to get over the hump. They need a space creator guy.
Stevie, my last question as we running out of time. If Stevie's going into the Hall of Fame, what hat you wearing, brother?
Well,
this is Buffalo, man.
Yeah, the first team that got me.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real.
That's
right. Let me get my pick. So my pick, I'm gonna go with the home team, though, San Francisco. I'm gonna say we're gonna be winning the game, and it's gonna come down to a big stop that we'll have to do on the Chiefs. And if we can make that stop, we win. If we don't, then Mahomes done something great again. I think it's gonna be something like that.
There you go, Stevie Johnson. That was outstanding. That is how you end the show, Stevie. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thank you for coming out, and thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. We will be back tomorrow live from Radio Row. Thanks to Jiffy Lube.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports. Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it. The price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that